Welcome to the stream, everybody. As always, let me know how the audio and visual quality is, and I'll do my best to fix it if there's any issues. But without further ado, let's go ahead and cover the players we have for you this fine day. Now we're going to see VM Caradoc with the High Elves taking on Agony Twitchy and the Beastmen in round 1 of their best of 3. So let's get to it, shall we? Starting with the High Elf player, looks like he's going to have a relatively small army. No surprise there. The High Elves are known for their small elite armies after all, and we are going to see the Heralds of the Wind, ROR Illyrian Reaver Archers, and looks like we're going to have 2 other Illyrian Reaver Archers, bringing it out to a total of 4. We're then going to have Silver Helms, and it looks like we have 4 of them. A very cav focused build here, which I like to see. We also have some Lion Chariots of Trace, anti-infantry, armor piercing. These guys are tough and have good speed. And then for the infantry, we're going to see a minimal amount of it on the field, but we will see some anti-infantry in the form of 3 Rangers. Now, up in the air leading this army, it looks like we're going to have an Archmage of Fire, which is cool to see, on top of a Moon Dragon. Going to have Burning Head, Fireball, and Arcane Conduit. So, covers the High Elves. Now let's go take a look at the Beastmen army. So, starting with their right flank, we're going to see 2 Centaurs hidden here in the forest. We're also going to be taking a look at a front line, which will consist of Ungor Spearman Herd. Looks like they will have shields. Going to have some Poison Warhounds in the center there. The Blackhorns Ravagers, and then 2 other units of Gore Herd with shields. We have 2 Razor Gore Herd with a with a Gore Bull leading them. We're going to have the Butchers of Kalkengard. And then for the Magic of Rays, Shaman of Shadows, Penumbral Pendulum, Enfeebling Foe, Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. And of course, last but never least, we have Morgor, the Shadowgave, leading the army with both of his summon items. Lion Chariots smashing into them. Oh, will the Chaos Spawn summon come down in time to catch the Chariots? Look at that, 2 models have been caught up on Chaos Spawn. Will they be able to escape, or is they going to suffer some heavy damage right now? Spirit Leech, Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma now going down on them. Here comes a Burning Head. Is it going... Ooh. Ouch. That's going to do some serious damage, but unfortunately veer a little bit off. I would have liked to have seen it targeted a little bit more on top of him. Instead, it kind of started over here, which I think makes it harder to get good value on. But right now, Beastmen getting a nice pickup on those Lion Chariots of Trace, and bada bing, bada boom. I think they just eliminated them completely, and that's a significant loss for the High Elves very early on in this fight. That is 1,300 points down the drain. Now, over here, we're going to be seeing Silver Helms doing a nice job cycling into the Beastmen infantry. They should be able to win that outright as long as they keep a respectable distance from Razor Gore and Minotaurs. But this is going to be a very micro-intensive build for our High Elf player to pull off, so we'll see if Caradoc is up for it, or up to it. Centaur Herd diving into the Rangers. Illyrian Reaver Archers in a counter charge now, and that's a good play. That's a good play for the High Elves there, but we will see if it continues to go well for them. But I mean, right now it kind of looks like they're sandwiching a lot of Beastmen units here, and there's no anti-large really nearby to support them, so the High Elves could get a huge pickup right here. Over here, it looks like the Dragon is going in for a big breath, and holy cow! That was very nice breath. That did a whole lot of damage. Penumbral Pendulum now going through some of the High Elf ranks, doing some damage. And right now, I'd still say it's too early to call anybody's game, but the Beastmen do still have the Butchers of Kalkengard, Gore Bull, Morgor, the Shadowgave. Pretty much all of their key units are in this fight. But the High Elves are getting some nice pickups on the peripheries, and they could potentially remove magic from the field if they take advantage of this opportunity. The Bray Shaman is stuck in combat right here, and all he needs to do, honestly, I might sacrifice these Illyrian Reaver Archers or something just to pin them in place and take this opportunity to snipe the Shaman. But it looks like the Shaman will escape, and our High Elf player are going to be taking a cautious route, which I do respect, pulling the Archmage back up in before these Minotaurs get anywhere near her. Right now, though, High Elves starting to pull themselves back into this balance of power dead even, chat. Over here, Silver Helms on the periphery continuing to smash through a lot of infantry and some Razor Gore herd. Nice cycle charging on display, you know, just hitting them from both sides, never giving them a moment to breathe. Another burning head going down here through some of the Beastman forces. Looks like this one did some better damage, but I do apologize for missing the bulk of it. Archmage of Fire still relatively unscathed. And right now the High Elves may be pulling this into their corner now with this full cav build almost. Like the Rangers have been knocked out pretty much across the field. And over here though, we're seeing the High Elves using their Ellyrian Reaper Archers and Silver Helms to just rout off broken units. And the balance of power is now slowly but surely creeping in their favor. Especially with this Archmage on the Moondragon just completely untouched. You know, it's a lot of HP, that's a lot of terror, and big damage potential for the High Elves right now. And unless the Beastmen can get something going quicker, I think they might lose it. One other thing I want to point out here is the High Elves might have an opportunity maybe to go after Morgor or something if the Beastmen don't start regrouping soon. Got to keep in mind, Moondragon does have fire damage for its melee attack, and Morgor does have that weakness to fire since he has regen, so he is susceptible to going down from dragons. Ooh, speaking of fire though, here comes a fireball. Going to do a nice little bit of damage, but not going to be a direct hit. As you see, it looks like it just clipped him and then kept on going through. Alright, balance of power starting to go back towards the Beastmen now as you see some of these units regrouping on the periphery. Will the High Elves be able to bring the balance of power back? It looks like these Silver Helms going in for a big charge on the Gore Herd with shields. But the Gore Herd aren't breaking as quickly as they need them to, and we may be seeing the Minotaurs getting over here before they're done. But Silver Helms recognizing this, getting the order to pull through the Gore Herd infantry and just go their merry way. Right now, Butchers of Kalkengard, very low on health, but they have 10 models, which means they can heal up the vast majority of their health since they start with 12 models to begin with. So we'll see if that regeneration comes into play here. I think the Beastman player playing it smart, keeping them away from the engagements for now. All the time they spend out of combat is time they will be healing up and getting that regeneration. And the High Elves seem rather content at the moment to just kind of, you know, kite and remove all the other units from the battlefield, and I absolutely respect and appreciate that. It's a smart move. Hey, Ubin, good to see you, my friend. Oh, I forgot to post an announcement on your Discord. I need to do that after this battle. Oh, Fireball counts as a missile, so it doesn't do much damage. That is a very interesting point. I never realized that. Thank you for the, thank you for letting me know there. Alright, so see the Rangers getting terror routed by the Butchers. Ellyrian Reaper Archers are actually diving into combat right now with some of the Minotaurs. And would you look at that, down to 7 models now. Oh, Gorbel! Took a big breath to the face from the Mage. Fireball now going into the Gorbel, and it did a lot of damage. You gotta remember, Gorbel has 100 armor, so typically not the best, but that high angle, you can get some really good shots off, and his hitbox is a bit bigger than Morgur's, not to mention he doesn't have the missile resistance that Biblington just mentioned for us. Over here, looks like the Moondragon feeling confident enough to dive into combat. The Bray Shaman, terror routing him. Gorbel may get a hit off. Oh no, look at that. The defense coming in with the block. Silver Helms blocking Gorbel in, pinning him in place. And yeah, it looks like the High Elves are going to be able to pull this off. A very micro-intensive build, and I have to say, GG to Caradoc. I mean, also Agony Ducky, no doubt there, but this is a tough battle to pull off, and he had the balance of power against him most of the fight. So very good first game for today's tournament. Or I should say tournament stream, because this isn't the first game today. Alright, Morgor is probably the only one holding on right now, and looks like army losses are about to kick in, so GG, well played to the two of them. Panzer Faust, good to see you. Yeah, no worries, Panzer Faust, there's never anybody in YouTube, so we'll keep doing it. you know? And if nobody ever catches on, then maybe we'll just go back to Twitch and uploading to YouTube. But doesn't hurt to do both, I suppose. So, looking here, Silverhelm's just, wow, great job across the board with these guys. Rangers kind of got stomped, but, you know, they're not a bad choice to bring here. But honestly, I think in hindsight, just regular Illyrian Reapers would be more valuable. They're 50 gold cheaper than each of these Rangers, and, you know, when you look at this fight, Rangers didn't really have too much to do. I almost think if you're going this heavy on Cav, you might as well just go full Cav. And if you're not going to go full Cav, I would almost recommend like maybe 2 Shadow Warriors or something instead of this, like just something to skirmish with. Otherwise, yeah, I would say go right ahead, bring another Chariot, or bring some just a regular Illyrian Reavers. They're 550 a pop, and they'll be super, I mean, on the charge, they can definitely kill Ungor Spearman Herd and Gore Herd if you micro them well enough, so. But yeah, all things together, great first match, and we'll see what happens next. It looks like these two guys are quite evenly matched. Cool. Not TheyTube. Oh, Optimus Pine. It's only you. That's why it's called YouTube, not TheyTube. I see. You and your puns, man. What would I do without you? So let's go ahead and open this up and see what the next picks and bans are going to be. And sorry to leave you so quickly, but I am going to go refill my water because I forgot to do that, but we'll be right back. And we are back. So, welcome to the stream, everybody. Panzerfaust, Optimus Prime, Biblington, Noob for Life, Ice Power, Cyrus BC. Good to see all of you. Oh, and Uben. Good to see you too. Now, Ice Power, great games yesterday, by the way. Also, in my... Yeah, you were playing yesterday too. I was also uploading or editing some of your videos from the Warhammer World Championship last night, so that's also why you're fresh in my mind. So I think later this evening or tomorrow evening you'll have your match versus Vicious Satsuma uploaded to YouTube, because I'm slow as hell at uploading. Oh, that's totally wrong. Let me go fix that bracket for you. My apologies. Moobot! It's clearly Moobot's fault, not my fault. Right, go ahead and try that again, my friend, and it should work for you. And welcome to the stream, by the way, Chosen One. Alright. It does appear our players are ready, so let's go ahead and get set up for the battle. Now, as you can see, we are going to be on Oakenhammer, and it's going to be VM Caradoc with the Greenskins going up against Agony Twitchy with the Empire in round 2 of this best of 3 for the Fresh Recruit League Season 5 Championship. Alright, the Greenskins finishing their chant of "We's gonna get ya!" And let's actually start with our red player this time. So on the far right, we're going to see a piece of artillery. A great cannon to be exact. And then moving from that flank over, we're going to see 3 Knights of the Blazing Sun. Very popular pick against Greenskins. Got 2 Huntsmen. A single Greatsword. We're going to have the Sigmar Sons, 2 Flagellants, and 2 Spearmen. Or was it 3 Spearmen? It's actually, yeah, 3 Spearmen. I lied to you all. Forgive me. But going to be a very infantry-heavy Empire build. But actually, I guess I should say that. They do have the 3 Knights of the Blazing Sun. And, of course, we got Boris Todbringer up in the air. And a Bright Wizard on the ground. I love this. So we have a Burning Head, Fireball, and Kindle Flame. And then up in the air, Boris Todbringer here. Going to be seeing the Midland Runefang, White Cloak of Ulrich, Crush the Weak, Hold the Line, and Blood Roar. So, let's take a look at the Greenskins, our player Caradoc, who is on match point right now. And once again, starting from the right flank and moving to the left, we are going to be seeing Forest Goblin Spider Rider archers with some Gobbo archers. We got the Arachnarok Queen Spider over here, and then further back we're going to be seeing Orc Boar Boys, just ready to get into battle and get to nasty business. We're also going to be seeing regular old generic goblins. Looks like 5 of them in total. We have the 8-peak loonies. And then for some leadership, we got an Orc Shaman on foot with Brainburster, Grom the Paunch, the Lucky Banner, and is that the Graydon is here or Language of the Boys? I can never remember. Language of the Boys. River Troll Hag, Spirit Leech, and Mither. No surprises there. And then the same combination on the left flank with the addition of an extra Goblin Wolf Rider Archer. So, time to see who comes out on top, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, we're going to be seeing the Greenskin Skirmishers pushing out in force, and the Huntsmen with this Spearmen and Flagellants pushing out to meet them. I do want to see the Flagellants, honestly, pull them back here. Keep them behind all the infantry that has at least some armor, and don't let these Wolf Archers just get a ton of really valuable damage down on top of your Flagellants, who you kind of want to save in the backline and push up so they can act as the unbreakable bastion of your army. I kind of don't like seeing them get shot down too early. But over here, it looks like we're going to see a Spirit Leech on top of the Bright Wizard, and we're going to be seeing a Spirit Leech versus Fireball duel, I do believe. And unfortunately for the Bright Wizard, I think he's going to have a smaller HP pool, no regeneration, and Giant River Troll Hag can just heal through all those fireballs. But Bright Wizard does have a cannon on his side, and that should even up the fight. Meanwhile, the Huntsman proving to be a good defensive unit to keep these skirmishers at bay from the Empire, and now Boris is going to be pushing forward. He does also have regeneration, which is why he's a very nice lore choice if you're trying to not bring the lore of life in your Empire army. Spider hatchlings look like they may have been going down, but Knights of the Blazing Sun coming out, and now it looks like the Ragnarok Queen may have overextended. Going to be getting some pretty bad damage on top of her right now, and that's no good. Agony Twitchy getting some good value here, and even this summon is going to be good value. Dead Man's View, thank you for the follow, man. But yeah, even that summon is going to be a loss for the Greenskins because, you know, she has a finite number of summons and she had to use that one just to save herself from an overextension. So I would say overall they're a nice little pickup from Agony Twitchy. Not very dramatic, of course, but, you know, still every bit of damage counts, especially on a unit as important as the Ragnarok Queen. 120 armor on top of her. She has a big hitbox though, so it looks like the Fireball may be going for her this time around. Indeed it shall. Cannon looking like it may be targeting the Ragnarok Queen as well. So right now both players playing this very cautiously. Looks like another overextension is going to be happening, but this time it's the Greenskins who are going to be punishing the Empire for it. And right now we do see some Orc Boar Boys diving into these Huntsmen. Flagellants are nearby, but they're not going to, you know, kill Orc Boar Boys. So this could be a nice pickup for the Greenskins to exact some revenge on their Empire foe. Okay, looks like the Huntsmen will be able to escape. They did take about a third damage, but overall, not as bad as it could have been. Boris is taking some serious damage, but he does have that regeneration, so as long as he gets out of there and doesn't soak up too much more, I think it will be okay. Yeah, Knights of the Blazing Sun just coming in, and with that charge bonus just absolutely smashing the Orc Boys. There is no contest there on the charge. Knights of the Blazing Sun will slaughter Orc Boars every time. Right here, we're going to see Mither on top of the Knights of Blazing Sun, slowing them down significantly. You know, they're at a crawl right now at 8 speed. They're slower than the slowest of dwarfs, and they're just getting pumped full of arrows. Oh my goodness, look at this. The Ragnarok Queen once again really extended in here, and now the Huntsmen are in range. The cannon is firing away. We may see another fireball coming down, and the Greenskins are investing everything they got to prevent this from happening. But look, now we have a terror out on some of these Orc Boys. Fireball going into the Troll. Oh, that's a nice direct hit, and that's the potential damage a fireball can do to a lightly armored unit with a weakness to fire. But over here, the Empire getting a very big pickup right here. This is a very key engagement. We are going to see Terror, though, kicking in on the Knights of the Blazing Sun now, and it's going to be Boris this time who's trying to get out of there. But he is now going to continue chasing the Ragnarok Queen. I do want to see him be very careful. He's going to be surrounded in a minute here, and he doesn't have Knights of the Blazing Sun to get him out of it. Looks like he's just going to stay on top of that Queen. Terror kicking. Oh, never mind. These guys are going to start routing again. That was very worrisome. I was worried they were going to pin him in place while Grom came in to give him the immune to psychology. But it looks like Karl Franz is going to be able to finish off the Ragnarok Queen. And that, or sorry, not Karl Franz. Boris Todbringer is going to finish off the Ragnarok Queen. And that is huge. Only 196. So even if the spider comes back, I don't think it will be super valuable. Meanwhile, over here, you can see the Empire's pushing out with the infantry. The Greatsword's being used very cautiously, and I like to see this because they could easily defeat any infantry the Greenskins have right now, and they have massive weapon strength or armor piercing, so and the bonus versus infantry too. So yeah, this is looking like the Empire may be able to pull it off if they keep playing the way they're playing. But Boris Todbringer, oh no, he's in trouble. Oh god, this could totally backfire. Boris is now getting outnumbered. Getting charged. They have lost, so they're immune to psychology. And Boris is just getting smashed right here, guys. Will he be able to escape? I don't think so, because he doesn't have a faster ground speed than Grom does. Grom is a fast lord. He's like 82 speed, so maybe he'll get up in the air. Oh, cannon's continuing to fire away. I forgot that that cannon is still online. It's going to have some nice value by the end of this fight. Alright, Knights of the Blazing Sun, now their Mither is worn off, are going after the River Troll Hag. Try to keep Boris Todbringer in our vision as well, but it does look to me like he's not getting out of here. Grom the Paunch is on his ass. Yeah, giant river troll hag. Looks like she's about to rout. The cannon is firing away. Knights of the Blazing Sun should do a countercharge right now. Countercharge, countercharge. Ah, no, they're not going to get countercharge off, so they're just going to take a rear charge. But they killed off the giant river troll hag, and that was pretty much their objective. However, what's going to happen from here, chat? We see the Bright Wizard is still alive. Oh, nice burning head going through all of these goblins. Looks like it may have been a little off target, but the burnt trait still goes down there, and that's going to help get a rout going on those goblins with the leadership debuff. Knights of the Blazing Sun going down, but look at this. The Great Cannon pretty much shutting down the Orc Boar boys. Oh no! I must have missed the loons to end all loons. Look at that. The Great Swords were full health, and I missed it. There was a loon that went through them and just absolutely crushed them. Oh no! That is so insane. The loons just destroyed the Empire's hope. I feel like if those Great Swords would have stayed alive, the Empire could have had a good shot here. I mean, their magic was probably low by this point. Great Swords could... Honestly, Great Swords could kill everything in this Greenskin army right now, except for Grom. But they had a cannon and fireballs, so wow. What a comeback. Great game to both of these players. Wow, that was a great series, and this second battle was super, super close. So big shout out to Agony Twitchy there. He played a beautiful game, especially with the Empire. Like, getting so much good value, but it just goes to show in my, like, sorry, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. It goes to show that your opponent making a mistake early in the battle that you're capitalizing on can often lead to you making the same mistake later in the battle. And what I mean by that is the Arachnarok Queen, in my opinion, was not handled well this battle by Caradoc. He really, I mean, the value reflects that. This is a very expensive unit. I think it's 2,400 gold to bring in your army. So, you know, almost a quarter of your army costs being sunk into this unit. And, you know, he overextended it. And Agony Twitchy punished him very well with Boris Todbringer. And then the first couple times he never overextended, you know, got the damage he could and he pulled out. But then in the end there, you know, I think he just lost track of what was going on around him. And once those Knights of the Blazing Sun started routing, I think Boris needed to be a lot more cautious. Because as soon as that happens, you're running into the situation where, yeah, Boris could beat Grom in a one-on-one fight, I think, on paper. And as long as they're, you know, both starting even health and on fair footing. But as whoever has the support is going to win this fight between the two. If Grom has Orc Boars supporting him, he's going to beat Boris. If Boris has Knights of the Blazing Sun supporting him, he's going to win. Because Grom the Punch, keep in mind, is also weak to fire, like the River Troll Hag, and we saw how quick she went down to them. So this was just a matter of, I think, early game, Caradoc was overextending himself. Late game, Agony Twitchy overextended himself with Boris. And Caradoc was able to capitalize and bring it back in the end. But very, very good game to both of them. And I like the Boris pick. I know this is a matchup where I see very often Volkmar, period. But I think Boris is useful here. He's more mobile. He's like mobile terror against greenskins is absolutely wonderful. You have to be more careful. He's going to be squishier, and if he gets caught on the ground, he's more viable to die than Volkmar. But my personal taste is like whichever kind of unit you're more comfortable with using, go with that. For me, I try Volkmar in my builds. I'm not good with Volkmar. I can't. I need to work on it. I guess it's just my own weakness as a player. But like, for me, I feel like I'd rather play the unit I'm comfortable with, which would be Boris, over the unit I think I would agree objectively is more competitive, but I'm just not as comfortable using. All right. Maybe he won't win, but getting into VM ODM should mean. All right, I'm going to have to catch up in the chat here too, but let's update the scoreboard and go try to find the next match, shall we? All right, Trusty ZD. was I disconnected from Steam? What the hell? Okay. We'll get into that one. Hey, score. Wow, I can't spell today. Zero. No music for just a second. Bear with me. What do we have here? I guess I'll just use their names as they wrote them in Challenge. It's 1-1, it's a tiebreaker, and factions are final. Now, factions are final, so babe. Dark Elves versus Chaos? Hell yes. Warriors of Chaos. Round 3. Boom, boom, boom. Da 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 da. Score 1-1. All right, so let's catch up with the chat, shall we? Getting into VM, ODM should mean you're disqualified from Fresh Recruit. Both are super competitive with almost all players too good to play here. Not even talking about the blind advantage you could provide. I've seen the players are Fresh Recruit. It's not Fresh Recruit in reality, yeah. So to address that, yeah, that's why we do the Fresh Recruits on a monthly basis now. So every month we are graduating at a minimum 16 people. Or I guess it could be potentially less, but it's basically if you get to the top 8 in Fresh Recruit playoffs, you qualify. And if you were ranked in the top 8, I believe, you qualify. So we're going to be churning out over 8 players every month and trying to do that as regular as possible so we don't have like people sitting around here for months and then the skill gap gets very uneven or wide. So let's go ahead and throw up the intro card, shall we? We got Trusty with the Dark Elves, Ivesd with the Warriors of Chaos in round 3. This is the tie-break match. Winner will proceed in the playoffs. Here, just because I played Total War 2 on Start and Drop for Tears. No, it's all good, man. Like, if you guys are taking a long break and stuff, like, as long as it's good in good faith and you're not, like, creating fake accounts just to win Fresh Recruit tournaments and stuff, it's all in good fun, you know, and I think it's good for Fresh Recruits every now and then. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to play somebody much better than you. I just don't want it to happen too often because then it's demoralizing, and we don't want our new players demoralized. But enough of that, let's get to the battle. We have the Dark Elves being led by Trusty, and I didn't update the factions, so let me do that right now before I forget. So we got the Dark Elves and the Warriors of Chaos. And so here we go. This time we're going to go from the left flank to the right flank, and we're going to see Dread Spears, the Blades of the Blood Queen, Harganeth Executioners, looking sexy as hell. And we're going to have another 3 Dread Spears to complete that front line and actually make it 4. So we have a total of 5 Dread Spears. Slaanesha's Harvesters in the rear, 2 Feral Manticores in the air accompanying Morathi. She is on top of her Dark Pegasus. She has the Doombolt of Caridon with Soul Stealer, Soul Blight, Enchanting Beauty, and Greater Arcane Conduit. We're also going to see some skirmishing power in the form of 2 Scourgerunner Chariots and 2 Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. For the Forces of Chaos, Also going to be seeing 2 Feral Manticores, and then we're going to be seeing Marauder Horsemasters. It looks like we have 2 of them, and then 4 Marauder Horsemen. For the leader, it's going to be Archaon, the Everchosen, on top of his Mount Dorgar. He's going to have Burning Head and Flaming... Or is that Fire Cloak? What is it called? Why can't I think of it? Cascading Fire Cloak. The Crown of Dominion, Kindle Flame. Sorry, Crown of Domination. Then we have Standard Die and the Slayer of Kings, which is a huge weapon strength boost. For the infantry, we're going to be seeing Chaos Marauders, Chaos Warriors, the Mirror Guard, and another unit of Chaos Warriors, all surrounding the Hell Cannon. It's truly a just disgusting thing that I don't like to look at. So let's look at it. But here it goes. The battle is underway, and the skirmishing phase has begun in earnest. Yeah, Scourge Runners look like they're trying to get these Manticores to rampage, so we'll see if they can do that. That would be quite valuable. Yeah, Chaos got to be careful. Just takes 1 rampage to lose a Manticore, and that is why they're so risky in so many scenarios. Looks like Chaos is going to be pushing hard on the left flank with their skirmish force. And they may be going straight over here for Dread Spears, but the problem Chaos is going to have, these guys all have silver shields, giving them that 55% missile block chance, and, you know, not going to be an easy thing to overcome. And these just really aren't valuable targets for Chaos. But I suppose if you eliminate a full Dread Spear, you know, that's value. I just think, you know, better served in the counter skirmishing, but rightly I think Chaos is going to have a hard time dealing with Scourge Runner Chariots because it's just the nature of it. They kill models so efficiently against Marauder Horsemen and Horsemasters, and Marauder Horsemen and Horsemasters just don't trade well here. As you can see, they just keep losing models to these big old harpoons getting thrown in them. Alright, Dark Elf Manticores are coming in hot after the Chaos Manticores. And I think they're going to dominate hard because of Morathi. But in come the Javelins, and now they're trying to turn the tide a bit. And it looks like the Dark Elves are now the ones on the run. But Rampage has kicked in here. And oh my god, Morathi with the nasty Soul Stealer, of course, hitting a lot of these Marauders. And yeah, 3 of the cab units and 1 infantry. Alright, Chaos looks like they're going to be losing this aerial combat, but the Javelin's coming in, trying to get a fair trade here. You can see some of the Dark Elves, Feral Manticores, one of them at least, has taken some significant damage. Oh my god, another one from the Slaanesh's Harvesters, and they're getting targeted by the Hell Cannon, and that's actually a nice targeting there. It's going to kill models efficiently. It does magic damage, so I'm going to ignore that physical resistance. Alright, 1 Dark Elf Manticore is fleeing, the other one is rampaged over here, and now this one is rampaged again. And just like that, I think Dark Elves are going to take a very dominant position in the Air Force monster position of this fight. Over here, though, look at this. Chaos coming back swinging. This is just a slugfest. Looks like Chaos is going to successfully rout the Slaanesh's Harvesters off the map with these Marauder Horsemen. And that's huge. Balance of power going right back to even after that play. And now this Manticore from the Dark Elves is rampaging. Archaon, the Everchosen, just dove in. Here comes another Soul Stealer, I believe. Yep, but this time it's not going to catch any of the horsemen, so nicely done. And, you know, the Chaos just successfully killed off a Manticore from the Dark Elf. So right now, both of these players just trading slugs, and it looks like trading pretty even blows so far. Hell Cannon now targeting the Blades of the Blood Queen, and talk about value. These guys are so tightly packed. Every single one of those rounds that connects is going to just kill so many models. Oh, that one going to be a bit off target. As so often happens, this is why I like to alternate my targets a lot, because often after the explosion happens once, it spreads up the unit formation a bit and it messes with the targeting of the Hell Cannon and just artillery units in general. See? Over here, oh, Burning Head coming down. It's going to destroy those Dread Spears. Oh, wow, doing a ton of damage to those Dread Spears as well. And the Mirror Guard just having a heyday, but taking a Doom Bolt on the head in revenge. Over here, these Dread Spears just getting pin cushion. Now they're going to get surrounded and charged, and I think they're going to break. Over here, Chaos Marauders, great weapons, diving into the Blades of the Blood Queen. Obviously, they're going to lose that, but we'll see if they can hold the line long enough for Archaon to get something going. And right now, the balance of power is pretty significantly in favor of Chaos. Archaon still, you know, diving around with good health. We'll see how much magic he has left. And it looks like he's actually feeling brave enough to go after Morathi, but she's supported by the Blades of the Blood Queen right now. I'd be very careful. They give her a Guardian ability, and also Archaon will take a lot of damage from them. They have very good armor piercing, and Archaon doesn't want to be just sitting in combat with the Blades of the Blood Queen. Another Burning Head coming down. This one doing a touch of friendly fire, but overall, yeah, going through both the Dread Spears, finishing them off. Chaos Warriors now going to be freed up to come over here to fight with the Blades of the Blood Queen, and Archaon is in single combat right now with Morathi. Oh, Javelins coming in now, starting to make a pin cushion out of Morathi. Blades of the Blood Queen about to get surrounded now by a lot of Chaos Infantry. Maybe I do need to turn off blood effects. They just get so messy, but I really like the explosions on the charge of Viscera. The explosions of Viscera when units charge into each other. Looks like IDSD is starting to edge ahead. We have a Manticore diving into combat, though. Terror going down on top of those. And, oh man, Terror on top of both Chaos Warriors. Mirror Guard standing firm because they do have that immune to psychology. Archaon diving in after Morathi desperately, but is she going to get up in the air? She seems to be stuck on top of an infantry model right now. One of the Blades of the Blood, or sorry, one of the Mirror Guard to be precise. But he, getting up in the air at the last instant, and that must be frustrating for Archaon. And this is why so often, you know, like if somebody doesn't bring Fireball, I just feel like it can backfire, because these are the moments when Fireball on top of Morathi is just like a game ender, you know? You just, oh, I need to seal the deal. I'll just shoot her with a Fireball and it's over. But looks like Chaos should be able to edge it out from here either way. Blades of the Blood Queen outnumbered, even though they're a better infantry unit, and getting shot in the back. So looks like they're going to be breaking pretty soon here. Or not, actually. Maybe they'll just win, but looks like some of the Marauder skirmishers have been sent over there for a rear charge, and we'll see if that breaks their leadership. Alright, in they go, diving at the repeater crossbows. Balance of power really out of hand now, and I think this is going to be GG unless Morathi has a pocket Soul Stealer left, but she's been throwing down a lot of Soul Stealers so far, and it looks like army losses may be kicking in, and there it goes. A GG in a very close fight. Very nice game to both players. It really came down, like, funnily enough, that whole battle, like, what initiated the entire chain of events, in my opinion, is just the air combat. The Manticores from Dark Elves trying to eliminate the Manticores of Chaos. I think they got too greedy. I think if the Dark Elves would have sat back and just let their Scourge Runner chariots continue raking in that value by just, like, killing the Marauder Horsemen and Horsemasters, I think that's really what they should have focused on, because like the Dark Elves had the tools necessary, in my opinion, to effectively counter the Chaos missile force. Um, I think they just needed to play it maybe a bit more cautiously, and I think, and it's not to say anything against Trusty, he played that beautifully. I just think it was one of those scenarios where he was making a play that wasn't bad, but it just kind of cycled out of control. Because in my opinion, like him going in with the Manticores to take out the Chaos Manticores, it made sense. He had Marathi, he had his own skirmish force to deal with the Chaos skirmishers, but he kind of overextended into a position where, he didn't necessarily need to be. And I think it just created some opportunities for Chaos to make big plays. For instance, the Doomfire Warlocks getting routed off. Like, those Doomfire Warlocks didn't need to be in the Chaos backlines at that moment. So, wish I could... Maybe I need to go back and rewatch the replay at some point to see what initiated that chain of events. But either way, the Celestial Harvesters were out of position. And, similar things happened, too, with... the the Dark Elf Manticores in some of the instances. So it's just like one of those things where the aerial combat and the Manticore rampages, I don't think necessarily worked out in favor of the Dark Elves in the long run. But great game, Ibsd. Congrats, you are progressing further in the Season 5 championship. And Trusty, excellent work, my friend. Congrats on making it this far, and looking forward to seeing you play in the regular league seasons. Coffee's the best. Dude, I hate you, fly. Get out of my water. Keep on having flies fly into my glasses of water. It's very frustrating. Anywho, Archaon getting some great damage in there. Marathi too. Hey, my son. Should Felix and I wait for your stream, or can we play already? Yeah, you can play already. Let me check what's going on. Here, I'm gonna come watch you right now. So just hold that lobby, and I'll be right there. Okay. Yeah, the Elite Light Cat. If they're alive in the late game, Slaaneshi Harvesters are devastating. Yep, exactly. Go away, Felix. What? Hey, guys. Alright, let's go watch this battle. The first semifinal between RTK Felix and RTK Gambapero. Ooh, excuse me, Gambapero. Have either of you added me as friends on Steam? Why am I invisible right now? There we go. Thank you for the friend request, Gambapero. Let's refresh and see if we see it. Cool, thank you. Invitation didn't work because the game was full, but hold on, I'm gonna leave the lobby, come back, and see if it shows up now. RTK Gambapero, I see you. 1, 2, 3. Let's throw up the army walker before I forget. My hair is too long, I need a haircut. Hey, Trust. Good seeing you, man. Great series. I misclicked your Harvesters twice. Yeah, I was talking about that. I wasn't sure what had happened. But yeah, still a very good game. I think you represented the Dark Elves very well, my friend. Like I was saying, I think it was the whole chain of events with the Manticore battle that really just rolled out of your favor. Good luck, have fun. Let's go ahead, update the scoreboard back to 0-0 and get these players' names on the board. So, got RTK Felix in red. And then in blue, RTK Gamba Perro. What is your mic? You sound really nice while the mic is not ever to be seen. I just got a Blue Yeti that I just keep in front of me. So yeah, it's not super fancy. It's just a stand mic that I keep right in front of my mouth, and I turn, you know, the pickup all the way down, so try not to pick up background noise. But just have it right next to me, and glad it sounds good. Yeah, big boy league indeed. No more holding back. Cool. Now, so I can just go ahead and update the intro card while we wait for these lovely men to get ready. Men and women. Mama Double Manti is an excellent combo. Cost efficient, great hero killing squad. Can be squishy to missiles, I suppose, but yeah, I think it's a pretty potent combination. This is still the same mic I've been using since I started streaming, so it's like 4 years old now. But yeah, it's held up nice. Alright, looks like we're going to get Oakenhammer. And our RTK Felix going to confirm Empire as his pick, and he's going to be banning the Dwarfs and Bretonnia. It looks like Gamba Perro is going with the Skaven, and I love this matchup. And I mean, I say that about a lot of matchups, but I guess I do love a lot of matchups, which is why I love this game. But Skaven Empire, I like it because you can often see a lot of explosions, you know, some green warpstone explosions and, you know, some grenade launchers from the Empire State Troops, just blowing up mass hordes of rats. And who doesn't want to see that? So over here, oh man, I have like a pompadour right now. Ain't nothing but a hound dog. Where are we at? RTK Gamba Perro. Gamba Perro. Then the Empire. Should have seen your other two games, both super close. Damn. Yeah, feel free to send over the replays, man. I need to do a big long stream and just cast a bunch of replays I need to catch up on. Oh yeah, some of my favorite battles have been when I lose. Especially because when you're uploading like a video to YouTube, sometimes it's nice, like if the best battle is you losing, because then people don't give you shit from like, oh, you only upload videos where you win. Yeah, co-casting's a blast, man. Let me know if you ever do Chosen One. We can hop into a battle. Yeah, #1 seed. You put up a great fight. The latest video I put up on YouTube was the last Fresher Recruit League playoffs, and AC Maiden versus Lunacy, and it's already gotten multiple dislikes because, and rightfully so, you know, that was a very mismatched game. Lunacy had joined the Fresh Recruit League, but he clearly was a very skilled player. He just hadn't played in our tournaments or anything like that before. But AC Maiden was a good sport about it, and he put up a hell of a fight, and is also on to bigger and better things in the regular league. So hopefully this time it looks like it will be a bit more, you know, even across the board. And, you know, whenever we do have those outliers who are, because sometimes it's not even necessarily that they're just like they're playing in other tournaments or anything like that, but maybe they just have a natural affinity for the game. And like, especially when the seasons were 3 months long, you would see some players who like started at the same time as others, but they would just like excel so much faster at the game. So, you know, sometimes it can't be helped. Oh, Caradoc. 1 second. Sorry, I just saw you. Caradoc and Ibsd. Sorry. Let's go ahead and say you can start, but please send me the replay. However, if you guys are both fine with waiting and you want to be cast live, then by all means, I would love to cast. But I know time zones are a thing, so I kind of want to leave it up to you two as the players. So Caradoc and Ibsd, I would love to watch it, but if you guys are in time zones where it's getting late, or early, I suppose, you know, like where it's getting early in the morning, then feel free to go ahead and play now and just send me the replay. Okay, cool. Because, yeah, I mean, right now it's 11:20 my time, so if we do this semi, your semi in the final, it should end at a relatively good time. Hey, Greenskin Mary, don't think you want to watch that. Too many trolls, but I'll send over Empire versus Lizard game. Oh, hell yeah. I love men versus lizards. Because, I mean, it's just like Jurassic Park and Warhammer, basically. So right now it's 10:17 p.m. Got it. Or no, 8. That's not too late. But I suppose the thing is to think about, so if it's 8 for most people, and this semi, let's say, lasts an hour and a half, and the next one's an hour and a half, it's already 3 hours added on. So you're at 11 playing the final, and some people like me are pretty sleepy at 11 o'clock. Well, like I say, up to the players. Alright, looks like they're getting ready to ready up. So prepare yourselves, chat. My biggest concern is always the East Asian and Australian players. Or I guess, yeah, even India. So South Asia, East Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, everywhere on that side of the world, it's that's the worst time zone for my tournaments. But without further ado, let's load into the map and get the intro card up. So here we have it, RTK Gambapero, bringing the Skaven versus RTK Felix. We have a clan civil war here, folks. So it's a win-win, you know, no matter what, at least an RTK clan member will proceed to the final of this season's playoffs. But bad news is one of them's got to go. So starting with our blue player, we are going to see RTK Gambapero. Now, going to have a lot of Skaven Slaves, no surprise there. It looks like we're going to have 4 regular and 2 with the Spear variant. And actually make that 4 and 4, so we're going to have 8 Skaven Slaves total. We then see 3 Warplock Giselles, 2 Poison Wind Globadiers. For the monsters, we're going to be looking at some Rat Ogres who just disappeared on me, but it looks like we're going to have 2 of them. We have 2 Plagueclaw Catapults for that artillery power. And then, for the heroes, we are going to be taking a look at this. We got Throth the Unclean leading, Plague Priest, and a Warlock Engineer. Throth's going to be on top of his Brood Horror. And we're going to have the typical spell loadouts from the heroes. Let me know in the chat if you guys want me to always go over the spells and the loadouts or not. I can go either way. But for the Empire front line, we now have Spearmen with shields. Looks like 4 of them. We have the Sigmar Sons and 2 Flagellants holding down the center. 3, or what is this? 2 Empire Knights and 1 Empire Knight of the Blazing Sun. We're going to have 3 Great Cannons, including the Hammer of the Witches. So this Empire build very much focused on taking out Skaven large units. And, you know, it may have a decent chance here. But for the heroes, we're going to be seeing a Deathcaster, an Amethyst Wizard to be precise, going to be bringing Spirit Leech. And then we have Volkmar the Grim with his usual loadout, including the Banishment. So, looks like that rounds out our forces. Oh, just kidding. We have a Bright Wizard too with Fireball and Burning Head. Yeah, Caradoc, I'll be able to find the lobby since you added me as a friend, so I'll be there right after this one. Well, you're part of the chat, Romulan, but you're also an admin, so your opinion doesn't matter. I hope they weren't waiting for me, but... Oh, wow, this is a beautiful little formation. So symmetrical. Great Cannons might have some fun right now. But Plagueclaw Catapult's going to have some fun too. However, hope they aren't on auto fire, because those cannons definitely have some key targets they need to be focusing on. Warplock Giselles look like they're going to be revealing themselves to try and snipe out the Bright Wizard. Here comes the Fireball. I'm going to guess after the Plagueclaw Catapult. Oh no. Either it missed or it was going after... Well, I guess it missed either way, no matter what it was targeting. Okay, ooh, a huge hit into the Flagellants, bringing him almost down half health. Yeah, Warplock Giselles going after anything they get on. They can get on. It looks like the Bright Wizard is going to be their main focus, though, and they're going to keep pushing out. I would honestly like to see the cannons focusing on some of the heroes. 3 cannons focusing on like a Plague Priest or something. They can win that pretty easily. And I guess we'll see if they're trying to assert their range dominance against the Plague Claw catapults, and seeing what Plague Claw catapults can do to Empire infantry. I gotta understand the decision. Right now, looks like the Warlock Giselles are back in range, going after Mr. Bright Wizard. Bright Wizard going to be unloading another fireball. Once again, it's going to miss, and I think he's targeting heroes, and it's just overshooting, unfortunately. But those two fireballs likely could have been two Plague Claw catapults knocked out of commission, freeing up the Great Cannons for bigger and better things. But right now, Bright Wizard is going to continue getting sniped, and this is a painful thing to see. You know, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep this wizard alive. Alright, here comes a burning head if I had to guess. There it goes. Oh no, it's going to be off target, and this cackling skull is just going to go through no man's land. Is it going to hit the flagellants at all? No, it's going to at least do no harm, so not going to hurt anything with that burning head, and that's a painful thing to see. Skaven seeing some Deathglow bombardiers begin to rout as the Empire is rushing forward. Empire Knights now coming into play. And it does look like the Skaven pretty much successfully eliminated the Bright Wizard. He's 198 HP. I don't think he's going to survive this next volley. Yep, there he goes. Over here, going to be seeing a Skaven summon coming out of... Oh, just kidding, it got canceled. As it does appear, Thrathian Queen over here is getting routed. He's surrounded by spearmen. Volkmar the Grim is on top of him. He does fire damage, which is going to be extra good against Thrat. And the Empire right now looks like they've got the Skaven army on its heels. Back to a higher level, you can see Empire still dominating in the balance of power, and it still looks like they're just kind of routing everything with their knights. Skaven running out of options every second right now, and besides a few units, they're just breaking across the field, and I think army losses are going to be kicking in any second now. There goes a Skaven summon as they come out of the earth. Some more clan rats ready to join the fight, but will it be enough? Do you see some regrouped Rat Ogres coming into play now, and they're going right after Volkmar. Oh man, Thrat and the Rat Ogres coming into play, but these cannons just continue to fire away, unabated, uninterrupted, just doing a lot of damage. And oh, look at this. There goes the Soulfire, and that's going to be a GG, with RTK Felix taking the first win. So yeah, Volkmar just really doing God's work there, doing Sigmar's work, I should say. Cannons doing okay for themselves across the board. This one almost paying twice for itself. And yeah, I mean, really, I think both players played it well. I think the Skaven had an interesting build. I would have liked to have seen at least one more Rat Ogre, maybe ditch a Warlock Giselle. Get a little bit more mass here, because I think at the end of the day, what really bit him in the ass is the Cav play from the Empire and Volkmar. This army just doesn't have enough mass to hold anything in place. Volkmar is going to pretty much be able to go around unchallenged against this army as long as he doesn't let himself get isolated by Thrat and the Rat Ogres. So, a great game, but we'll see what happens in round 2, see if RTK Gambapero can bring it back to a tiebreaker. Vermintide Total War. What happened to the Plague Monk summons? I like the Skaven lore of Magic, just catching up on the chat here, and yeah, I think the Skaven Magic is pretty awesome, just like the Greenskin Magic. Both have some nice unique flavors, but also kind of similar in both of them. You tend to see the same spells brought by players. Yeah, animations. +2 on Plague Monk Summon, 12 to 14 wins. Still better to hit the bell animations. The gun zombies just got +1. Yeah, that is pretty significant, 12 to 14. Yeah, that does weaken that a lot. Thanks for the heads up. And now I know when I play my Skaven builds to keep that in mind. Made more expensive than Manticore summons were once upon a time. Change was meant to limit power of the dual Plague lore summons. Yeah, I guess I get it, but I don't at the same time, you know? It does make that pretty untenable from a Winds of Magic perspective. And at the end of the day, would you rather summon 2 Plague Monks or 5 Clan Rats throughout a battle? And I think 9 times out of 10, people are going to want the 5 Clan Rats. Yeah, I think the leadership aspect of Skaven summons makes them pretty balanced. You know, it's not like zombies where they just, you know, have to get crumbled out. But, oh well, I mean, I think Skaven are still in a fine place overall. And maybe it will encourage usage of other lores of magic. The lore of stealth, is that what it's called? I always forget. Somebody let me know in the chat, but either way, that lore is one that I know I underutilize, and there's some very strong spells in it that, if you're clever, can be very devastating used against opponents. Woo, suffering. Hey, Bob Trash. One of the summons from Vermintide, but now make the monk summon cheaper. Yeah. Lore of Stealth, aka the worst lore of magic in this game. Lols, but Skitterleap is fun. Got Skitterleap. You also got what's that one? Is it Bonebreaker? That's a pretty good debuff. Bonebreaker is. The Ninja Stars are okay as far as magic missiles go. Brittlebone. Thank you, Brittlebone. Bonebreaker's the unit. The mount. Yeah, Brittle Bones is a good spell. The Ninja Stars, I don't know if they still are, but they used to be very good at killing models on like cavalry or infantry. So, I'm not sure if that's still the case. But yeah, it's just not as sexy as the other two Skaven Lores of Magic. I mean, it's really hard to beat Warp Lightning, you know, from the lore of Ruin. Dreaded 13th spell. Just, yeah, when you have one lore of Magic that's very focused on damage and one that's very focused on summons, and then you have one that's like stealth, it kind of gets overlooked. Heavens has some spells, but yeah, by and large, it's not going to be the best spell in lore of Heavens. Okay, you have Wind Blast, and I think that's actually a pretty decent breath spell, so I'll give them that. And then Curse of the Midnight Wind, I also think is a fine spell. A lot of people complain because I think it's melee attack and armor that's debuffed instead of armor and defense. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're still taking away armor and removing melee attack, you know, I think is, at the end of the day, you're reducing their chance to hit you instead of increasing your chance to hit them, which I think is just as good at the end of the day, right? You're reducing their armor and their chance to hit you. That's a good debuff spell and an AoE effect. So I think that spell in particular can be used well with Bretonnian Cavalry outside of Questing Knights, of course, because Bretonnian Cavalry besides Questing Knights don't have very great armor piercing. So that debuff can be useful, and it also makes it much harder for enemies to hit, you know, Bretonnian Cav as they withdraw, because that melee attack, you know, and when it comes to cavalry, it's almost more important to debuff your enemy's attack than it is their defense, because with the cavalry, the big thing you're wanting is like you have that charge bonus, so you don't worry about their stats. You're going to do damage to them, but pulling out, you'd want them to have less of a chance to hit you. So I think, in a way, Lore of Heavens makes sense for like certain factions and depending on what units you're bringing to the army. Brittlebone to help the Bonebreaker break bones. Exactly. Because Bonebreaker usually just, you know, breaks bones, but with Brittlebone, he shatters bones into tiny little pieces. Yeah, there no argument there, Chosen One. I'm just trying to give those lores some love. Because, yeah, no question about it. The other ones are stronger. What do you guys think in the chat? Big Wah or Little Wah? Which one's better? I think they're probably just like completely on par with each other. Orion in this match is probably pretty good. Oh my goodness, a Wood Elf Mirror match, eh? This ought to be fun. I kid, actually. Some of the best matches I've ever seen are Wood Elf Mirror matches, so... There's a Bloody Vortex spell that does no damage at all. Yeah, the unit formation disruption spell, whatever that is. Big Wah is better if you had a Dancing Wurzag. Little Wah is overall better, in my opinion. Little Wah is always useful. Big Wah is sometimes useful. Big Wah. Little Wah used to be the best lore in the game before they changed to Sneaky Stabbing. Big Wah is cooler, though. Fair enough. Look at that. There's disagreement in the chat, though. Because I'm sorry, nobody can convince me that against Bretonnia, Big Wah is not a useful lore to have. Because if you have a Wurzag and you have Effigy the Git with Foot of Gork, it's like guaranteed you'll kill at least one complete unit of Bretonnian Knights. And if you keep them alive, it's pretty much guaranteed you'll kill 2 units of Bretonnian Knights. So that's where that, and like Big Wah, but then Little Wah in that matchup has Gorgle Fix It. Minus 48% speed debuff and charge speed debuff to units in an AoE. Like, they are both very useful there, but like, I don't know. Like, one of them has Vindictive Glare, the other one has Gaze of Mork. Those are both really good missile spells. But Big Wah has Brain Burster, which is awesome. It's like a Vile Tide kind of spell, and the Little Wah doesn't have anything close to Vile Tide or Foot of Gork. So, they're both wonderful. I gotta say they're on par with each other. But, enough of me jabbering. Let's get to the battle, and here we go. We've got RTK Gambapero with the Wood Elves against RTK Felix, also with the Wood Elves, but I decided to throw up Arguelin on there, so at least we had a little bit of dynamics on the intro card. I'm going to remove our army blocker and make sure we're good to go as we load into the map. Alright, let's go ahead, get into it. Looks like our players have just hit the map. And let's start with our red player, RTK Felix, this time, who was on match point. As usual, starting from the right flank and working our way to the left, we're going to see Wild Riders. We also have 2 Glade Riders with Spears, along with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dryads. A second unit of Wild Riders! And a 3rd Glade Rider with Spears. For the skirmishing, looks like we have Glade Guard, 3 regular and 2 with Hagbane tips. Or wait, actually, yeah, 4 regular and 2 with Hagbane tips. And who do we have leading the army? Looks like over here we're going to see a Branch Wraith on foot, of course, as Penumbral Pendulum and Earthblood. And then we have a Vanguard Lord, so it's going to be the Sisters of Twilight or Orion, I suppose. And looks like we have Orion vanguarded out here all by his lonesome. He is going to have the Shield of Orion, is that what it's called? No, Cloak of Isha. And that will be it. Starting with our blue player now, Gambapero, also is going to have Orion. This Orion is going to have the exact same loadout, funnily enough. So we have twins going to be duking it out on the field. We're going to be seeing Wild Riders, at least one of them there, and then another 2 Wild Riders, bringing it to a total of 3 Wild Riders. Now we have 2 Dryads, as well as 4 Eternal Guard with shields for that very nice 55% missile block chance. For the skirmishers in this Wood Elf army, we're also going to have Glade Guard, but it looks like we're going to have a whole lot of Starfire Shafts. So, armor-piercing fire damage. Looks like they're prepared for trees in case the enemy decides to go that route. We're also going to be seeing a Branch Wraith on foot, Awakening into the Wood, and Earthblood on this one. Call of the Wood will also be on it to improve that melee attack in an AoE. Now, let's go ahead, take a higher level view of the battlefield as our players finish up their deployment, and wait to see what happens next. Wild Crikey Riders! Twisty. Or Trusty. They're twins, but not the sister twins. It is the Orion clones. And what do you have to say to that, Orion? Good point. Well said. Bring it on, Mel Gibson. Oh my goodness, and so it begins. The duel. The red evil clone has not hit the blue Orion as of yet. I have the high ground, Red Orion! Don't even try it. Right now, it looks like Ben Kenobi Orion is doing just that, as Anakin Orion is suffering the consequences. This is not looking too good for Anakin. You really gotta respect the high ground, you know? I wonder if he's gonna light on fire and lose his limbs. Wow, this has been a very honorable duel, but not going in favor of Evil Orion at all. Don't betray me. Ay, ay, ay. Gentleman's match right here. Now this is pod racing. I couldn't agree anymore, Poison Ducky. Oh wow, dude, he's just throwing javelins at him point blank. What a G. Oh no. There can only be one! This is Orion as Highlander. Orion was the chosen one! Foretold to save the world, not bring the elves into darkness! Well, there we go. Ferocious at seeing their leader killed before their very eyes. Anakin's Glade Guard have opened fire, but as you can see across the entire red battlefield, look at their leadership bars. The gray bars underneath, you'll note the entire red army now has a debuff because their lord has been killed. So a very significant disadvantage. You can see here, case in point, these Dryads going to have 60 leadership. These ones going to have a mere 52. Oh, wow. Penumbral Pendulum coming in hot. But, oh, it was just off. Oh, that had so much potential to do so much damage, but it was just off target. And, yeah, that's painful to see. But now it looks like we have both players pushing in, and the combat is about to go full scale here. Wild Riders diving into Dryads and Glade Riders with spears, and now Anakin's Wild Riders coming in for a countercharge. Alright, as you can see, Anakin's Triads pushing hard on the right flank, trying to close the gap on top of these Wood Elf archers, eliminate them so they can hopefully gain the ranged advantage here. Time will tell, but right now it does look like Red is getting some pretty successful pushes, especially after that Orion duel went south for him. It looks like the other Orion is actually running off to the corner of their map because he was that honorable, and also because it was such a traumatic experience killing himself. He decided he had to run off into the corner and reflect. So you do that, Orion. We'll maybe see you later in the battle, but in the meantime, the two leaderless armies continue to clash, and there are arrows everywhere, people. Looks like the balance power is starting to go towards Anakin's side. Will Ben Kenobi's slaughter of him turn out to not be enough to turn the tides of this battle? Your army needs you, Ben! This is madness. I can't tell who is who anymore. We got a lot of Dryads, a lot of Elves. That's all I can say. The balance power seems to be creeping over to our red player. Yes, he does need to play Malekith if there's a third game, so he can just go full on Anakin mode in his suit of armor. Over here, going to be seeing a heal going down on top of Gambapero's forces, but balance of power now is looking like it's hit the point of no return almost, and army losses will kick in here unless our blue player can start picking up some wins. Orion is still sitting in the corner just reflecting on the horrific crime he committed in killing himself. But, yeah, it looks like he's going to leave his army back there to suffer as he sits here pondering the true meaning of life and what Isha has in store for him. But there it goes. Army loss is kicking in, and we're going to have a 2-0 victory from RTK Felix over RTK Gamba Ferro.
The forest shall prevail!
Yes, begun. The mean wars have.
Blood for Cain!
Wooden teeth just like George Washington. That's how Orion's coming back.
We are the forest's
Oh. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. We see Ben Kenobi coming out of hiding. One last chance to try to end the evil empire. Will he be successful? Man, I'm taking this analogy too far. Oh my god! Freedom! Man, he is just taking a bunch of arrows to the face. Eternal Guards telling Drads we are the forest. Yeah, it's a bit silly. How dare a human, or an elf, sorry, tell a Dryad, a literal tree spirit, that they're the forest. Anyways, excellent game. I loved the duel at the beginning. This Anakin Orion definitely got dominated by Obi-Wan Orion. So, yeah, not much more to say about it. That was a truly epic duel in the beginning, which was a blast to watch. And then, you know, the Empire overcame in the end, even though Ben was able to defeat Anakin. So, you know, very, very much in line with the true story of, you know, what happened back in our history with Anakin and Obi-Wan, because those are all true events, in case you didn't know. So, let's go ahead, get to the next semifinal, and congrats to Felix. We'll see you in the final, my friend. Large teeth, sharp claws. I watch way too many children's programs, and I have child songs stuck in my head at all time. Virtual Mage, thank you for tuning in, my friend. Have a good night. Get some rest. Good luck, Funhav. Which means you were a good dad. Alright, so BM Caradoc. Yeah, it would be weird if I watched it on my own. I'm not a masochist. Why would I put myself through watching something like CoComelon by myself? Something that actually tortures my ears in a very literal way. All right, I will be right back. Cocomelon. If you have Netflix, you can just type in Cocomelon. It's a children's show just full of like nursery rhyme songs and stuff like that. It's really not bad. Like, you know, it's from the Jim Henson Company, so it's not something like I don't like it. I find the animation creepy, but my daughter loves it and she sings the songs, and you know, like I'm totally fine with my daughter singing along to nursery rhymes that you know, I knew as a child. So I'll put up with it and let her watch it, you know. But some of the ones I don't mind watching, Curious George, things like that. Anywho, enough of me talking about television for children. I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. HW here again. Let's see what we're gonna miss. It is good to give everybody in a clan automatically the big boy turn to me. Yeah, I mean, but it's really up to the clans, you know. You're so jealous of my hair. My crazy hair right now. Well, I'm happy to hear it. It makes me happy that you're jealous. Let's see what score is 0-0. What am I doing here? And it looks like we have Wood Elves versus Lizardmen. So let's get everything updated accordingly. Pillar of Bones the map. Caradoc has signaled that he is ready to go, and just waiting for Ivsty to give the all clear. I mean that everybody in a clan might not be a noob anymore. Oh, fair. I see. Anybody in a clan automatically in a big boy tournament. That's fair. I think it depends on the clan, though, because some clans are very liberal and just let anybody join. And I don't know if those clans necessarily, their members should be automatically disqualified, but feel free to throw your suggestions in the feedback channel, and we can always change things from there if we get enough feedback about it. Oh, gotcha, guys. It is. Yeah, I have been needing to cut my hair recently, but been trying to grow it out a little bit since I've always had short hair. But anyways, yeah, good day to you as well, and good day to everyone in the chat. Welcome if you're just tuning in. This is the second semifinal of the day for the Fresh Recruit League Season 5 playoffs. And it's VM Caradoc taking on Ivsty. I haven't even updated their names yet, silly me. And here we go, chat. So hope you're ready. We're going to be taking off the army blocker and my ugly mug and get into the battle. So you can see Pillar of Bone is the map, and here's the matchup. VM Caradoc with the Wood Elves versus Ivsty and the Lizardmen. Round one of their best of three. So we'll see who comes out on top and proceeds to the final. Starting with our blue player, as per tradition, we're going to be seeing Wild Riders, 2 of them. Glade Riders with shields. Looks like we have 5 Glade Guard, all of them with Starfire Shafts. 2 Wildwood Rangers with their glaives, and 4 Eternal Guard with shields. Now for the leadership squad, it does appear we have a Spellsinger of Life floating in the air here with Earthblood. Then we also have Draika. She is going to be bringing her summon of Frenzied Dryads, along with the Penumbral Pendulum and Melkos Mystifying Miasma. For the Lizardman army, you're going to be seeing a heavy amount of skirmishers. Now, starting with the front line, we're going to have Skink Cohort, 1, 2, 3, and 4 regular ones, and then 4 with javelins. Actually, sorry, 5 with javelins. We then see the Legion of Shakwa in the center, some Spearmen, Saurus also, generic versions, and the cohort of Sotek. 2 Feral Bastillodons. And then 6 Chameleon Skinks by the looks of... No, just kidding. So, is that 2 Skink Skirmishers and a Chameleon Skink? And then 3 Skink Skirmishers over here. Now, other than that, for the leader, we do see Lord Mazdamundi on top of Slak, his ancient Stegodon. He's got Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, Harmonic Convergence, and the Shield of Hexawaddle. Or the Sunburst of Hexawaddle, sorry. Good sportsmanship on display, as usual. And there go the Starfire Shafts, opening fire and already getting some nice damage into the Skink Skirmishers. And see how it progresses from here. There goes another volley. Is it going to connect? Yeah, it's actually going to connect and do some decent damage. And over here, the same thing can be happening to the Skink Skirmishers on the Wood Elf left flank, the Lizardmen right. Wild Riders look like they're coming out. Might be getting a charge, but they're going to think better of it. Pull back in. Don't want to get hit by skirmishers too early in the fight after all. Alright, here we go. Big charge from the Wild Riders. Hitting into the Skinks. And then Eternal Guard following up that charge. Alright, Wood Elf's trying to refuse the left flank by the looks of it. Going to see a charge coming out here from the Wild Riders. And ooh, they're going to be hitting them just in the nick of time and knocking them way down the hill. And then we have Glade Riders with spears hitting this other unit from the rear. And that's a very nice play. You can see some of these units already wavering. This one already down below half health. And some nice cavalry play from the Wood Elf so far by Caradoc. Alright, there we go. Seeing this Malevolent Dryad summoned on top of these Skink skirmishers and Skink cohort with jabs and immediately routing them. And right now, Wood Elf's looking like they're in good form right now, but we'll see if they can hang on to it, because we're also going to be seeing a big banishment here. Oh god, this could be a devastating banishment. Oh goodness. That was a lot of damage on top of the Wild Riders. And then the Wildwood Rangers also, you know, taking a bit of damage there, and we'll see if they can hang on, but that was a pretty devastating banishment from Lord Mazdamundi right there. Over here on the other side of the battle, we do see the cohort of Sotek in combat with some Wildwood Rangers, and Glade Guard trying to stay away and fire in here to support those Wildwood Rangers in their combat. Right now, balance of power is still in favor of the Wood Elves, but it's starting to even out a little bit more in my opinion. This battle is definitely too early to call either way. Glade Riders with shields coming in after the Chameleon Skinks. Going to be a nice pickup if they can seal that deal. Over here, Mazdamundi and the Feral Stegodon, or Bastiladon, sorry, just continuing to rampage in these back lines. Bastiladon may be close to routing here, but the Wildwood Rangers also getting close to routing as well. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here, but these Wildwood Ranger, or sorry, these Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts are a huge threat, and I'm not sure if the Lizardmen are going to be able to tie them all up long enough to basically overcome the infantry. And right now, Feral Bastiladon is routing. Over here, you can see the Wildwood Riders, or sorry, the Wild Riders and the Wildwood Rangers are doing very well here against the Feral Bastiladon and the cohort of Sotek. And yeah, the Lizardmen need to get something going here quick. They still have Mazdamundi, which is, you know, a huge multiplying factor for them, but Wood Elves across the board are doing really well here. The second Feral Bastiladon may be going down for the count shortly here. Oh, Wild Riders look like they're going in for a charge, but now they're turning and going to focus on these skirmishers by the looks of it. Looks like they're having some weird... Yeah, there we go. They're having some hard time there getting their attack orders filled. Balance power creeping back towards the middle. Wood Elves need to finish off this Feral Bastiladon. Don't let it come back. But I guess it is probably more prudent to send the Wildwood Rangers down here to deal with the spears and support the Spellsinger of Life. Alright, Lizardmen starting to regroup, and the Wood Elves having a hard time shutting them down. All these skirmishers slowly dragging down the Wood Elf cavalry. Alright, Mazdamundi in combat with Wildwood Rangers. Looks like some Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts are going to be nearby to fire into them. And Draika is now into combat. She's going to take a pretty big hit from Mazdamundi, but the Wildwood Rangers still doing a lot of work. And now the supporting fire going to add that leadership debuff to Mazdamundi. But there goes Shield to the old ones, and here comes a banishment. Is it going to catch these Wildwood Rangers? No, it doesn't look like it's going to catch too many of them. We will see where it decides to go, and it actually looks like it may head back towards the Rangers. No. Unfortunately for the Lizardmen, just going to kind of sit there in no man's land and not do too much. Balance of power is in favor of the Lizardmen now. It's official. Wild Riders getting dragged down by these skink skirmishers. Going to see an Earthblood going down on top of these ones, trying to heal them up. They have 16 models left, which is a decent number. So we'll see. If they can hold on, that's going to be huge for the Wood Elves' chances to pull this out. Because, yeah, if all the Wild Riders are dealt with, then I don't know how the Wood Elves are going to effectively deal with all these greenskin skirmishers. Oh, man. Yeah, these guys not getting the attack order to go into them. They are just staying on top of a shattered unit, and that's going to be a huge loss for the Wood Elves. Yeah, Australian Wildwood Rangers, man. Anything with wild in its name. Drika just still smacking Mazdamundi. She ain't messing around. I mean, Mazdamundi has anti-infantry on his big old mount, so definitely a iffy call. Alright, Wildwood Rangers have finished off the Legion of Shakwa. Drika still trying to finish off Mazdamundi, but Mazdamundi still above 2,000 HP. Drika down to 1,600, and there's an infantry support for Drika. Spellsinger Blythe coming in to fight, though. Apotheosis going down on top of Mazdamundi to get him some of that health back. Yeah, this was a very, very good game, but it does look like Ibsdy's going to be able to drag it back with the Lizards, and army losses going to be kicking in shortly here. Yeah, my bad for saying greenskin skirmishers. I don't know what it is with lizardmen and greenskins. I always call lizardmen greenskins. So yeah, I mean, like, you can see some of the crazy good value these guys got, but just at the end, I think he didn't keep chasing the units off in the initial routes like he needed to. I think he turned around too early in some of them, and I think he needed to finish routing off all these skirmishers, because he was doing really, really well, and it wasn't until the skirmishers that weren't chased off started regrouping and coming back in that his army started getting dragged down. So very well played to Caradoc, but great game to Ibsdy there too, keeping his eye on the prize. I think keeping the clear in his mind what the victory conditions were, and pulling out the win there. Blue skins, there we go. How now, Pun Cow? So let's update that scoreboard. Ibsdy is up 1-0. Hey, how now, Pun Cow? Thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Yeah, Oakenhammer is super popular map pick whenever I throw it in the map pools. Oakenhammer is BIS? Did you just mean to write BS? Or what is BIS? Best in slot. Okay, got it. Just say like a word though. Biss. Okay, Biss. Oakenhammer is Biss. Nailed it! Hell yeah, Murflurf. Thank you for teaching me the ways. Alright, Greenskins against Coast. Greenskins have a lot of powerful tools for this matchup. Historically, Coast used to be pretty good in it, but with their recent changes and nerfs, I think they have a hard time here. But out of all the undead factions, yeah, this is probably the one that Greenskins had the best matchup with. But that doesn't mean they're going to win it. So, time to see what the builds are like. And maybe we'll see some kooky dooky approaches to how this battle goes. It's my favorite part about the Fresh Recruit League is, you know, even though as people point out, oftentimes these players don't seem too fresh because they're quite good with their micro and skills, you'll still see that freshness in their perspective on the game, and sometimes them bringing unique builds to the battlefield. So that's one of my favorite parts about doing these Fresh Recruits, is just seeing new ways to think about the game from players approaching it for the first time. Nerf Fire Coast, poor guys, yeah. That's why I've started trying to learn them, because I'm such a sucker for the underdog factions. Because I like their design a lot. I love the idea of like pirates and just like a slow gunpowder heavy faction. But I find I have a difficult time building their armies sometimes. So not my borrowed Dark Elf build. ODM SXMTI. I don't even understand what's happening in the chat anymore. Oh, yeah, behind me. Yeah, that happened yesterday, Demi G. Sorry, I'm in front of the dates and everything, too. Yeah, so that was yesterday, so you can go watch the replay. Today is the Fresh Recruit League Championship. Yeah, it was good. ODM won it pretty hard, but XMT, you know, was definitely sending a message about what it means to be on the Extreme Meme Team clan. And there was one, because you know how they like to spell out their clan sometimes with the armies before battle starts? They had one where it was XMT, and on the field I just saw the MT and I was like, okay, where's the X? And they're like, watch, and the battle starts, and they do 2 fiery convocations to make the X, and it was quite epic. It was an epic moment in the tournament when the Burning Head X appeared to complete the XMT meme. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. As a matter of fact, one second. Probably just pull up the clip real quick. Okay. That's going to be a loud, annoying laugh, but get ready, guys. There's going to watch this right before the battle starts. Coolest thing ever. Oh, God. Somebody clip that XMT. Probably the most meme thing ever to happen on my stream. It was sick. It was sick. But without further ado, let's get to the battle and take off the armor blocker on my screen. Yeah, it was amazing. It was pretty epic. But let's get to the battle. Let's start with our red player this time. Once again, working right to left. Now, we have deck droppers up in the air. They are going to have handguns. 3 of them. We're going to have 2 regular deck droppers, 3 gunnery mob bombers, a mortar, and then a whole lot of zombie chaff in the form of 2 polearms and 4 regular zombies. Going to have 2 gunnery rights on top of their crabs. Looks like Scabscrath on both of them. Then Count Noctilus on top of his Rotting Leviathan. No, just kidding. That's not what these are called. The Necrofex Colossus. Captain Roth's Moondial. Wraithstorm Arcane Conduit with the Summon and the Heal. Over here for the Greenskins, we're going to be seeing some Missile Cav on their right flank. Get 2 Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archer and the Mogrim's Mangy Marauders. Have Gobos 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to be seeing 3 Doom Diver Catapults. Also going to have some archers here. Looks like we have 3 units of Savage Orc Errors. And then the Rusty Errors. We're going to have Biggins in the back supporting these 2 Doom Diver Catapults. And then for the leadership, we are going to be looking at 2 Orc Shamans, both of them on foot. 1 with Brainburster, 1 with Gaze of Mork. And then for the general of the army, it looks like we're going to be looking at Grom the Paunch, a usual pick here on top of his chariot with the Lucky Banner and nothing else. And look at that, just in time to see him munch down that big old leg of whatever meat that is. Battle is beginning. Oh, a devastating volley from the handguns there. Alright, looks like we're going to have Doom Divers targeting the White Kings right now. And maybe some of them on the field are the deck droppers. Gaze of Mork, perhaps. There it comes. Yeah, some good model kills from the Greenskins on top of these flyers, but, you know, Invocation to Hex should be able to bring them right back up to health. And that's one of the main strengths of, like, undead skirmishing forces. Can really get a lot of value here with the Invocation to Hex and drag down the Greenskin skirmishers, which don't have regeneration for the most part. I guess the Death Creeper ROR do have regeneration, but other than that, no other Greenskin archers do. Doom Diver Catapults killing off models every time they connect, so doing some good damage. The mortar opening fire, though, and it looks like the Greenskins are going to go ahead and concede that they need to close the distance and start advancing towards the Vampire Coast, but we'll see what happens from here. It looks like the Vampire Coast is kind of getting themselves into a pretty bad crossfire, in my opinion, and they need to get out of here sooner rather than later because they're going to have the Savage Orc Air Boys and the Death Creepers opening fire on them soon. And it looks like they're getting the memo, trying to get the hell out of Dodge. We'll see what kind of damage they take on the retreat. Invocation to Heck. Not doing the Overcast, which I find curious. I'd like to see just an Overcast one on top of these units. You know, it's cheaper to heal 4 of them at once with an Overcast than it is to heal all 4 of them with individual non-Overcast. Noctilus needs to be careful. Doesn't want to get too far ahead. Oh, Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mob getting on top of the Rusty Errors. I don't think they'll be able to kill him off, but they should be able to stop him from firing for a bit. Scabswrath going down, but a little bit off target. And once again, just need to see that Overcast Invocation to Hex sooner rather than later to get these deck droppers back up to speed because they're kind of key to winning this engagement. So if he can't keep them alive, that's going to hurt. And once again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but Overcast, I think, is like 12 Winds of Magic. Not Overcast is like 8, so you do the math. Healing 4 of them at once with the AoE version is going to be a lot more cost efficient, so really not sure why we haven't seen that so far. And now the Dive Bomber is just continuing to do so much work. Doom Diver Catapults really flexing their muscles in this match so far. Alright. Handguns on the deck droppers have pulled into the back lines. I think one of them's going to crumble out of existence completely, but we'll see if the Coast can try to save at least the other two. Alright, Coast trying to bring out the bombers to get on top of some of these units, and I like this play because now the Greenskins are going to have more targets and may have trouble deciding what to target. The White King, or the Gunnery Whites, Noctilus, who are they going to go for? And now you have these bombs pushing out, which is adding more pressure to the Greenskins, and that's what they need right now. Bombs going into these Goblins successfully, doing a good amount of damage and almost routing them. These guys still hanging on. They need an invocation from the heck. Look. Oh, man. They could have been saved. Balance of power starting to creep towards the Greenskins' favor now. These bombs in a good position, though. Maybe they'll be able to take out some of the Orc Biggins. And ouch, ouch, ouch! Over here, Forest Golem Spider Rider Archers being used to shut down the Gunnery Mob. Very nice use there. Bombers destroying the rest of these Goblins pretty much. Handguns firing in from the rear. Over here, the mortar does look like it's about to get shut down by the Maugrim's Magi Marauders. We'll see if these deck droppers with handguns turn around and start shooting them, though they might be able to save that mortar. Over here, Count Noctilus using his invocation to hex on himself, having a tough time. These Doom Diver Catapults still have about a quarter of their ammunition left. One of them actually has full ammunition, because he hasn't even been on top of his artillery piece. There is Wa, but right now Maugrim's Magi Marauders look like they're going to get routed, but not before they shatter the mortar, and now the Greenskins' balance power is, the lead is starting to become very significant. Count Noctilus down to 1500 HP. Like to see him actually get out of here. But it's going to be tough to get out of range of those Doom Diver Catapults. No, there he goes! Count Noctilus down for the count. And with that, I think the Vampire Coast chances of pulling this off are going down the drain. Those Doom Diver Catapults are very effective against this heavily armored hero squad that the Vampire Coast had on the field. Dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 da. Yeah, Doom Divers are just as accurate as Hell Cannons. I mean, they had those little goblins flying them in, you know, guiding them into their target. So this is the one that wasn't mounted on its artillery piece. Honestly, having all three of those firing the whole battle probably would have wrapped it up much quicker. But look at the value these two got that were firing the entire battle. Only a 5 gold difference in the value they got, which is pretty insane. So yeah, if these guys had been firing the whole time, I think it would have been an even more convincing victory. But I liked Ibsdy's build. I like a lot of what he was doing with it. I just had a problem with the Fellbat play, or not Fellbat, the deck dropper play. I think the deck dropper play left me wanting. And just remember, guys, Overcast, Invocation to Hex when you're healing like, you know, at least 4 units is way more cost efficient than a single cast. And I really would have liked to have seen them on top of these deck droppers much earlier, and just, you know, had a more concerted effort on healing them, eliminating the greenskin skirmish cav, and then just like honestly keeping important unit like Noctilus a little bit further back. Maybe leave the gunnery whites out so he can heal them as they soak up damage from the Doomdiver catapults. Always a thing that's easier said than done, but all in all, great series so far. We're tied 1-1 going into an ace match. Hey, thanks, Murphalur. Glad you're enjoying the slow pans through carnage and violence. Yeah, Justiel was a good scrap. Should awaken the best in Ivsd. And Caradoc, for that matter. We'll see. Alright guys, I will be right back. Yeah, Chaos Warriors, I think is what he means. Oh, Carrick Asgal. Wait, what? Wait, what did he type Carrick Asgal for? Oh, the map. I was messing up and thinking that was Karat Kudrin, the Door faction. So it looks like we're going to have Chaos for Ibsdi. And either a High Elf or a Bretonnian pick from Caradoc. Yeah, Cyrus, I was just running a bit slow. Cyrus the Great over here, BC 600. Laying down the foundation for the heroic journey. Hey, Black Knight. I know. So soon. We got another one on Monday, too. Happy to hear it, bud. And you showed up just in time for the tiebreaker. He hasn't confirmed yet, but it looks like he is checking out High Elf roster right now. We'll see. I mean, he still technically hasn't confirmed. He may choose Bretonnia. Alright, High Elf's confirmed. So now you can start rooting for your faction. It was a couple weeks ago. Like 3, I want to say. Am I making my chair squeak, Jimmy G? Sorry. I have a fidgety leg. Thank God I don't work in office anymore, because I do that all the time when I would zone out. And if you have a squeaky chair and you're tapping your, like, you know, you're bouncing your leg, no good for your coworkers. Tell you what. Ivs D is confirming his readiness for the battle. No, there isn't a release date yet, Demi G. Sometime later this year. I'm guessing Q4. Alright, here we go. VM Caradoc and Ivs D. So here it is, Caradoc with the High Elves taking on Ivs D and the Warriors of Chaos. It is a tie-break match, winner takes all, and heads to the final to duke it out with our other finalist, RTK Felix. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the armies. Back to our blue player. I'm going to see 2 units of Rangers that I can see. We got 2 White Lines of Trace and the Swordmaster of Hoeth, Pyramid Company, ROR being one of those white lines. We're going to have 3 Illyrian Reaver Archers and another 2 on the left flank for a total of... Oh, sorry, yeah, so my bad. It's actually 4 Illyrian Reaver Archers and 2 Illyrian Reavers. We're going to be seeing an Archmage of High Magic. Going to have Soul Quench along with Apotheosis and Arcane Conduit. And then we do see a Star Dragon as well. Haven't seen one of these guys in a while, so... good to see you, friend. Looking forward to seeing how you play. Going to be looking at 4 Marauder Horsemen for the Chaos Forces. Looks like we have 2 Gorebeast Chariot, so watch out, Swordmasters and Axe Infantry for the High Elves. We're going to have Halberds, 2 of them. Looks like we have a single Forsaken, 2 Chaos Marauder, and then the Mirror Guard ROR Chaos Warriors. 2 Feral Manticores up in the air, and for the leader we have Archaon, the Ever-Chosen himself, on top of Dorgar. He's got the Slayer of Kings, Burning Head, Cascading Fire Cloak, and the Crown of Domination. So here we go, the Forsaken pushing out. Ooh. All of them. Faces for radio. Soul Quench going down. Oh, doing a really good amount of damage on top of that first Manticore. Alright. Heralds of the Wind and the other unit of Illyrian Reaver Archers are currently kiting the Gorebeast Chariots. They have superior speed, so they should be okay as long as they keep a respectful distance. Manticores are also going to be in pursuit. On the right flank, we're going to be seeing the High Elves now harassing these Halberds. Star Dragon getting a nice breath into the Mirror Guard. And honestly, yeah, the Star Dragon has a chance right now, in my opinion, to just dive in and get a bunch of free damage against all this Chaos Infantry. There's nothing fast enough to, you know, give him any issues. And I think the High Elves are actually wasting an opportunity right now to get some free damage in here because there's absolutely nothing nearby that can pin a Star Dragon in place. And you have Apotheosis to keep him heavy, so definitely want to see the Star Dragon go back over there and just start murdering things while the Chaos Forces are way out of position to protect their infantry. But it looks like that opportunity may have already come and passed, and High Elf's going to be playing a bit more cautiously than I would recommend in this early stage. However, going to be pulling back now, Marauder Horsemen trying to get some javelins out, but the Illyrian Reavers doing a good job keeping their distance. Looks like this one is going to take some damage, though, on the retreat. Alright, Chaos Infantry is now pushing forward towards the High Elves. So far, the High Elves definitely getting the better of the trades overall, I would say. They're getting some good damage down on a lot of units. Over here, you can see Illyrian Reavers coming out for a quick charge into the Marauders. Illyrian Reaver Archers just continuing to shoot the Halberds in the back. Another Soul Quench is going to come down. See what kind of damage it can do to this Manticore. It's not even going to try to dodge it. And ouch! Rampage immediately going to go down. And that brought it down to half health. Heralds of the Wind going to open fire, and now we'll see what happens from here. We see the Pyrmane Company coming out for a countercharge against these Chaos Marauders. They should be able to slaughter them. Alright, so looks like the frontline engagements are starting to go down. And it's anybody's game. This is both players playing this very well, and curious to see where it goes from here. Oh, Fireball, or Burning Head going down, burning through a lot of the High Elf infantry. And you can see the Pyrmane Company and these White Lines of Trace and Rangers already taking a ton of damage, and the Gorebeast Chariots are just destroying them like nobody's business. Swordmasters of Hoeth are now coming out to get in combat, but we'll see if they suffer the same fate. Star Dragon Breath going into all of these Marauder Horsemen. Not sure how I feel about that. I understand you're trying to eliminate the skirmishers from the Chaos Forces, but I think the Star Dragon might be better utilized dishing out some heavy hitting damage to the hero squad, to the chariots, other things like this, because as you can see, the High Elf infantry has just been completely routed by the forces of Chaos. And things are starting to look bleak from here as the balance of power is creeping in favor of Ivsdy's Warriors of Chaos in red. Star Dragon is now on the ground, but unlike the other opportunity it had, now there's Gorebeast Chariots, now there's Chaos Skirmishers nearby that can punish them. We'll see what happens. There goes a Soul Quench doing some nice damage. Burning Head going through the remainder of those Illyrian Reavers and Rangers and destroying them. However, High Elves picking up some victories here in the back line with their Illyrian Reaver Archers, and they don't have too much ammunition left, so I guess we'll see what kind of damage they can get done before they're out. But right now it's looking like it's going to be tough for the High Elves to regain the lead they once had. Another Star Dragon Breath going down, doing some good damage. The Star Dragon Breath, keep in mind, is typically better reserved for heroes, single entities, things like that, because it is very focused. But overall, the damage he's gotten on top of the infantry with it, I don't think has been terrible, so not going to hold that against him. Gorebeast Chariots chasing the Illyrian Reaver Archers, and this is another opportunity for the High Elves. Dive in with the Illyrian Reaver Archers, pin them in place, and get the Star Dragon on top of these Gorebeast Chariots stat. This is your opportunity to kill some Gorebeast Chariot, but actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm overselling it because there is Manticore in the air. You still have Archaon nearby. Burning Head going through here. Heralds of the Wind going to get a counter charge into the Marauder Horsemen now, and I think they'll win that on the charge. Alright, Illyrian Reaver Archers are starting to run out of ammunition. I want to see the Star Dragon over here. Also, where did the High Elf Lord go? Oh no. Oh no, how did this happen? What did I miss? Ouch. Damn, that is a devastating place to be. I completely missed how it came to be, how the High Elf Archmage got to this point, but there goes a Terror route, and now the Archmage is going to be knocked out, and I think army losses are probably going to kick in not too far afterwards. But look at this. High Elves not done yet, going to eliminate a Manticore in revenge for the death of their Archmage. And now Star Dragon coming after the Gorebeast Chariots, and probably going to lay down some serious damage on each of those strikes. But Archaon is nearby. He just popped the Slayer of Kings, and look at his damage. 926 weapon strength on top of this guy. It's insane, and that's going to seal the deal. Caradoc is going to go down 1-2 against Ivsty, who is now proceeding to the final. Great series. Great games to both of these players. Huge shout out to Caradoc for some excellent games. Like the Lore of Magic pick there. I just think, stand by what I said during the battle, just some lost opportunities there to deal with a lot of the Chaos Infantry, when I think Ivsty was really out of position with his skirmishers, chariots, and hero and manticores. Like, they were nowhere near the infantry, and that's the opportunity for the Star Dragon, just to go in there and get free kills, free damage done to a bunch of infantry. You pressure your Chaos opponent, maybe they overreact and try to wheel back around with everything to go stop it, and that just opens up more opportunities for you to exploit mistakes. But Ivsty playing it beautiful there. In spite of a rough start, he was able to pull it out in the end and take a 2-1 victory. So GG to him. Let's go see Ivsty versus RTK Felix. Yeah, I disagree that Reaver Archer's focusing on the chariots as well. Yeah, even halberds, though, with a Star Dragon, like, I don't find them to be a big threat unless there's Marauder Horsemen or something nearby that can slow the dragon down. Because otherwise, Star Dragon can just pull out of the halberds. No problem. Just checking out the Fresh Recruit chat, or the Finding Your Opponent chat. Funny things. Okay, Felix. Ivsty. I do not see the matchup yet. Tips for vampire counts versus dwarfs as the vampire counts. I like black coaches and I like Vargwolves. Zombie dragons usually a good way to go. Let's see if I can just invite them in. Alright, well that didn't work. Yeah, White King can be good. Graveguard with great weapons. are good in that matchup, but you got to keep in mind like hammers and stuff that you may encounter will smash Graveguard with great weapons, no doubt. So you really need to use Dragon Breaths, in my opinion, to eliminate a lot of the key elite Dowie infantry. I think I'm blind. Oh, you don't have the DLC for VC though? Oh, I would definitely recommend that if you're a Vampire Count player. Yeah, I can't see the battle, so I'm having them add me on Steam, and then we'll get into it shortly. Yeah, Felix versus Ivsty. There we go. Well, we'll see how it goes. Ibdi's been playing very well. Felix, definitely a solid player. I know he did play in the Warhammer World Cup. Can't remember how far he got, but he started Fresh Recruit League around the same time, so... Caradoc, no, you played very well. There was just, like I said during the battle, just some missed opportunities, I think, with the Dragon on the unprotected Chaos Infantry. Yeah, this is a new tournament, King Thran. No, they're usually on Sundays. Should have taken Brett, but I think you played that High Elf army very, very well in the early stages. I just think there were some opportunities for the Star Dragon maybe to just kill Chaos Infantry unmolested, and I think some of those more aggressive plays earlier on when you had really good momentum may have turned the tides of that battle, but still thought it was very well played. I like the build. I like the spell loadout with Soul Quench and Apotheosis, and I like the Star Dragon too. Herm20, well, definitely join the Discord. We got, dedicated channels in the Discord for every single faction, in the game, so players can talk about them. Have a bot in there to where you can actually just type in the name of a unit or lord or spell or item, and it will pull up the stats for you. So a lot of good resources there to talk to other fellow Fresh Recruits. And you can find people to play with there. We do the weekly Fresh Recruit tournaments on Sundays. And then they have the regular tournaments typically every Saturday. So I think it's just about playing as much as you can, but more importantly, just having fun, like trying to find builds that, are competitive because everybody wants to win, but also are just fun to use, and, trying to not get too frustrated, because not going to lie, the learning curve is deep and tall when it comes to this game. So just try to enjoy it, find players who are in the same skill level as you, and, play with them if you find it too frustrating to, play with others. And I would say, as much as possible, try to play people in like that setting where you talk to each other, you reach out, set up a time to play kind of thing. Because quick battles can be tilting. Like, even myself, if you watch the stream at all, you'll see me go against people who try to draw a kite and do all that stuff, and it's just not fun, especially if you're a new player. It's a very frustrating experience, so I recommend avoiding quick battles if you're easily agitated, because there's some people out there who just literally want like a perfect score, even though quick battle score means nothing and doesn't lead to any prizes or tournaments or anything. So yeah, just watch out for that. Nice. Yeah, quick battles are kind of annoying. Yes, you can, King Thran. You get to, there's a pick and ban system, so every round players go in order of picking and banning. And right now we have a Lizardman mirror match, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready for that. For that craziness. Yep. My head's hot. Alrighty. Got a lizard mirror match. A lizard mirror match. Thanks. I got a mohawk. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do with my hair right now. Got a weird, lazy, Peaky Blinders thing going on right now. Get out of here, fly. I'll murder you. Hey, have a good night. You too, Caradoc. Thank you so much for participating today in some great games. Yeah, I think in quick battles they should just, make a timer start automatically at like 5 minutes. And if both players ready up before that, cool. And if not, there's the timer. Yeah, I'm joining the Slayers for sure. I run a D&D campaign in the Warhammer universe, and one of my players is a dwarf slayer named Beerbeard. He actually got the moniker Beerbeard the Bonebreaker, or Beerbeard Bonebreaker. he broke something's bone, and I can't remember what battle or creature it was against. Bone breaker. I think it was against a Femir warrior, actually. Yeah, Dr. Nirgon, yes, that was definitely the stream. And that cannonball sent the River Troll Hag flying, and I love it. Satisfying to see a unit like a River Troll Hag get dominated. Alright, Ibsd is ready. RTK Felix finalizing his build, and MP Alpine Ridge will be the map by the looks of it. King Thran. I mean, at this point, these players are both proficient at the game. And that's something I go over a lot is like, for the noob tournaments, we do 1 month season, so like 5 tournaments and then a playoff, 5 turns and then a playoff. And we graduate typically 8 to 16 players every season to try to get the people who have learned the game graduated or people who are too good graduated. But it's inevitable that sometimes, even if people start at the same time, sometimes other players just advance quicker or are naturally better at the game. And so, yeah, these are noobs, but this is at the end of a 5-week season, and these are the playoffs. These are all the best of the noobs after the 5-week season. So take it with a grain of salt, but don't let this intimidate you from actually participating in the noob tournaments. So let's throw up that intro card, and here we... Oops. I did it wrong. So here we go. Lizardman mirror match. We got RTK Felix versus Ibsd. Round 1 of their best of 5 final. So let's start with our blue player. Gonna have 3 Chameleon Skinks up front, 2 Razor Dawn hunting pack. Yeah, armor-piercing barbs that they can whip out on their tails. Gonna have 4 Skink Cohort, 2 with jabs, 2 without, 2 Temple Guard. Got a Feral Carnosaur here. Da na 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 da na 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 da na 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 na. Now that we've got that out of the way, we have a Skink Chief on foot and Mazda Mundi without slot, just floating around on his Pelican. And he's got a Ruination of Cities, Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, Harmonic Convergence, and the Net of Mintok. Mintok, to say that more clearly. Also got a Solar Engine, ready to blast the enemy lizards off the field. Now, taking a look over here at his opponent's army, we have 4 Chameleon Skinks and 2 Skink Skirmishers. We're also going to be taking a look at Cold One Riders, and then a front line of 2 Saurus Warriors, a Saurus Spear, cohort of Sotek, and 2 Skink Cohort. Now, for the Leadership and Monster Squad, we do have Tenon Juan. Ibsd bringing Tenon Juan, preaching the good word with the Plaque of Sotek. He's got Transformation of Kadan, Falak of Doom, and then we're going to see a double Solar Engine build from this army. So, both armies got some good skirmish potential. Looks like our red army's going to have more of it, perhaps. But we'll see how this ends up. So battle should be starting shortly here, and troop counts within about 200 count of each other, so neither side extremely outnumbered. Wait. No, it's not. You can have a maximum of 5 Chameleon Skinks or 5 Skink Skirmishers, and it's a maximum of 6 units with a 360 firing radius, so that's legal. If he had 1 more of any of these, it would be illegal. Oh yeah, at first I thought there were 6 Chameleon Skinks, and I'm like, yeah, that would be a rule break, but 2 of them are Skink Skirmishers. Oh, Solar Engine just coming out of nowhere and roasting some of these skink skirmishers, and the three chameleon skinks over here in service of RTK Felix. We'll see if they can, you know, get more value or not, because, you know, there is something called diminishing returns, so we'll see if our red player here, Ivsty, can micro all these skirmishers effectively enough to really milk the value out of them. So far, looking like RTK Felix getting the better of the trades because of that solar engine. King Thran. Sorry. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I don't know if that's going to work. So, here we are, back to the battle. My apologies. Don't know I decided to do that in the middle of it. Got Skink Cohort pushing out with their bronze shields, or brass shields, trying to screen for the Lizardman army, and I think that's actually valuable. All this ammunition spent on this cheap Lizardman unit is actually going to be good value. They'd rather have it done on top of these 400 gold Skink Cohort than on top of the Razordon Hunting Pack, Temple Guard, or Mazdamundi. Feral Carnosaur about to come over the crest. We'll see if those solar engines open fire. Oh, actually going after the Skink Cohort. Alright, Chameleon Skink's pushing out pretty far to the right flank of Ivsty, the left flank of Felix. We'll see what they're trying to do, and I have to imagine, you know, get around, get into the rear cards, cause some damage, but looks like they're going to come out and just go toe-to-toe with these Skink Cohort with Javelins. They do have some shields that they can negate some of that damage. Balance power still dead even. Anybody's game. Going over here to the frontline engagements. Going to see the Feral Carnosaur running right after the solar engines. Not even going to take a minute. Just charging headlong into their back lines and going to start chomping on them. And I think that's a good play. There's nothing back here to protect the Feral Stegodons. I suppose they could double team the Carnosaur and that would be a problem. And actually now it's going to be a problem because the Saurus Warrior shields are getting targeted back this way. So we'll see how it goes. Got to keep in mind too, every time it gets blasted by a solar engine, its stats, its melee and defensive stats are going to tank because it gets the blinded trait for 10 seconds. Feral Manticore summoned from 10 and 1. Looks like it just went down. Yep, back here where Mazdamundi is. And Mazdamundi's in a bad spot, ladies and gentlemen. He's about to get singled out by all these people. But look at this, the Banishment actually going in on top of the Cold One Riders and doing some good damage. So Mazdamundi saved by the Banishment there for now. We'll see if he can survive this onslaught from 10 and 1 and the Feral Manticore though. The Cold One Riders now coming in for a rear charge and some very nice micro from Ivsty hitting Mazdamundi in the back, and now he's going to be pinned in place, and I don't see any blue units nearby to support him. You have these Razordon Hunting Pack, but they're getting chased by Cold One Riders, and they're not going to win that combat. King Cohort tying him up for a moment, though, and that's buying some much-needed time for the Razordon Hunting Pack to fire in armor-piercing rounds, and look at that. A failure to micro them on top of the Razordons is going to cost them their lives because they're distracted with Skink Cohort, and now they're getting hit in the flank by these Razordon Barbs. Over here, Mazdamundi in desperate need of help. He's down to half health. He threw down Apotheos to try to help himself out. Razordon Hunting Pack is now coming in to fight, but I think Tenemon just summoned his second Manticore. In comes the Solar Engine fire for Lord Mazdamundi. Will he be able to survive this? I mean, having the Razordon Hunting Pack firing away in here is really helping a lot. Looks like they're about to get shut down, though, by these Cold One Riders. But as I say that, they get one last volley off and do some good damage. But now, second Manticore is going in on top of Mazdamundi. He is losing health quick, and the balance of power is really creeping towards Ivsty at the moment. Checking in back here, we're going to be seeing that the Feral Carnosaur did bite off more than he can chew. And looks like he's going to go down for the count as the Solar Engine just needs to shoot him probably one more time for a shatter. Mazdamundi has not been able to remove himself from this combat and is now routing and probably going to die. And there's the concession, Ivsty taking the Lizardman mirror match over RTK Felix. Did I say Feral Stegodons? My bad. The separate server with just the latest rules. You mean for Discord? There's plenty of those going on right now. I need to get involved in some of them. I know Aerocrastic retired his rule set, so a bit of question mark about who's taking it moving forward. But anyways, Mazda Booty and the Feral Carnosaur both biting off more than they can chew, and I honestly just don't. I would have loved to have seen the Feral Carnosaur stay back with Mazda Mundi and just play defense. I think they were doing very well until it just seemed like Felix's army got too split up. The frontline engagements were way far away from where Mazda Mundi and the Racerdon hunting pack were. So, great game, and let's see what happens in round 2. On that note, I will be right back. Gotta go take a quick bio break. Also, for the record, this is the number 1 and number 2 seed in the final of this Fresh Recruit League. So, just throw out the bracket really quick here, I suppose, and show you guys what I'm talking about. But yeah, as you can see here, Ivsd was the number 1 seed, Felix was the number 2 seed, and both of them have made it to the final from their respective brackets. So, these are the top 2 ranked players from the Fresh Recruit League this season, fighting it out in the final. And funnily enough, I don't often see that. Usually have some upsets or something. So these two should be evenly matched, and from the looks of it, they are. So let's get to it. VC versus Empire. Well, definitely sign up, man. And like I say, if you haven't joined the Discord, make sure you do. If you need it, just type in !Discord in the chat and it will pop up for you. Empire can have a difficult matchup here. Yeah, real life obligations come first, unfortunately. Alright, here we go. Throwing up that intro card now, and I'll see you on the battlefield. So here we have it. RTK Felix with the Empire going up against Ibsdi. The Vampire Counts. Round 2 of their best of 5. Ibsdi currently leads 1-0. Let's go check out the Vampire Counts. Get to the battle. Gonna have Blood Knights and Black Knights. Looks like 2 Blood Knights and a single Black Knight. We got the Dire Pack Wolves, ROR. Going to be taking a look here at 5 zombies. What appears to be 2 Skeleton Warriors and 2 Graveguard with great weapons. Also going to be looking at the cap that we just covered, and then up in the air we're going to have a contingent of 3 Felbats and the Dire Pack Wolf on the grounds, as we mentioned earlier. For the heroes, we got what appears to be the double White Kings on a horse with Heinrich Kemmler also on a horse, Scab Scrath on both the Kings, Krell, Invocation of the Hag, Van Hell's Dance Macabre, and the Summon on top of Heinrich Kemmler. Now for the Empire forces, it looks like we're going to have a defensive geometry deployed. We got the Sigmar Sons, flanked by 2 great swords. They have some spearmen with shields in their rear, and then we have 4 more spearmen, 2 on either flank. Got 3 halberds holding down the rear of this army. Going to have the Zintler's Reichsguard, ROR Reichsguard, and they do have immune to psychology. Going to have the Sterlin's Revenge and the Silver Bullets in the pocket with Volkmar the Grim. He's going to have Grand Soulfire, Grand Shield of Faith, Grand Hammer of Sigmar, and Banishment. And then we have a Light Wizard with the Net of Mintok and Shem's Burning Gaze. Those Graveguard really have some great weapons indeed. Yeah, Empire going for, very symmetrical build. Vampire looking like they're going for a hard push on the right flank with their elite cavalry and hero squad. So we'll see how this goes. The Blood Knights won't really have anything to contend with in terms of mobility, which is probably my biggest problem with this Empire army. But we'll see how it goes. Zintler's Reichsguard in the pocket as well to provide that mass. They do have the immune to psychology. Great armor at 120. So, they can hold their own for sure. Alright, looks like the front lines are going to be meeting here very quickly. Sigmar's Sons and the Great Swords all getting their attack orders. Graveguard with great weapons are charging in there now too. We'll see what happens. We're going to see a big pile up of 3 vampire units on top of 1 great sword. None of them getting a flank or anything, so they're all going to be fighting them from the front. Over here, Net of a Mintok going down on top of all of these knights, and a banishment getting cast down too. And oh, banishment going to just absolutely melt some of these black knights before it veers off into no man's land, as it so often does. A frustrating thing to see, but it still at least dealt half health damage to them, and I think the Blood Knights. So good value on top of that banishment so far. Grand Soulfire going down over here on top of this combat, and Volkmar the Grim supporting the Great Swords should be a huge help. Both the Great Swords so far holding firm, and the Empire looking pretty strong so far. We'll see if the vampire counts can start to bring it into their favor. Krell has been summoned and is now looking like he's finding somebody to hack to little pieces. Zentler's Reiksguard still holding firm. Got halberds over here turning around to dive after the Dire Pack Wolves and prevent them from getting a complete rear charge on top of their allies. Blood Knights in combat with the Zentler's Reiksguard, but there's halberds and spearmen supporting. Oh, Scabscrath going through. A little bit short on the cast. And oh, here comes a rear charge from the Dire Pack Wolves now as soon as the halberds turn their backs to them. Very nice play from the vampires. And yeah, it looks like this battle over here is just a matter of time before the Empire has their infantry dragged down out of existence. But by and large, you can see they're doing good work. And I think I saw somebody in the chat asking how the musketmen work. Won't they be unable to shoot over the front line? Good point, but they're very useful against flyers. And then when you see the cavalry here, like the Blood Knights, you can see they are taller than the Empire Spearmen, so the bullets can actually shoot over their heads. Zentler's Reiksguard countercharging the Dire Pack Wolves as soon as they try to get on top of the silver bullets. And that's going to be an easy fight for the Zentler's Reiksguard. Their superior armor and charge bonuses and absolutely smash those Dire Pack Wolves. But balance of power still dead even. Way too early to call this for either player. Blood Knight still alive on the field. One of them getting an invocation to heck. And now it looks like they're going to be trying to come in for a rear charge, perhaps into these tightly packed halberds. Nope, just kidding.
As long as we draw breath, they will die!
Yep, there they go. Their leadership is holding so far. Got spearmen coming in now to help Tar Pit and try to support them. Zentler's Reiksguard look like they may be trying to come in too. And Empire's very lucky. There's nothing that causes terror over here. Otherwise, these halberds would have been long gone, no doubt about it. Grand Soulfire getting cast down. And that's going to just clear out all of the zombies that were there. Balance of power slowly starting to creep in favor of the vampire counts, though. Another Scabscrath going down. Once again, this one a bit short. Shem's Burning Gaze going point blank into Heinrich Kemmler by the looks of it. Sterling's Revenge looking like they're getting microed back towards the fight to supply some armor-piercing fire. Great Swords here slowly being dragged down by the Graveguard. Oh, Volkmar the Grim got himself into a party. I don't think he's going to be able to leave. And that's 2 White Kings with Heinrich Kemmler, Blood Knight surrounding him. He had the Zentler's Reiksguard in here desperately trying to help out. But just don't know if it's going to pan out for the Empire in the end here as the vampires just slowly but surely drag them down. Got another invocation to heck on top of one of the Blood Knights. Volkmar trying to get back to his infantry support. It's really the only chance he has here is to get back with all of this cheap state troop infantry and try to, you know, basically rally them together around him while he regenerates and supports them with buffs. Sterling's Revenge finally getting charged by the Black Knights and the Hero Squad. Vampires beginning to see crumbling on their Blood Knights now, who are stuck in this prolonged combat with the Halberds, and now Spearmen are coming in. Zintler's Reichsguard just barely started to rout, but look at this, the balance of power starting to go back towards the even, guys. Silver Bullets taking care of these great weapons. Sterling's Revenge, or sorry, the Sigmar Sun's taking care of the other unit. Shem's Burning Gaze once again going down on top of Heinrich Himmler. He's getting close to his healing cap. Oh, no, no, no. Alright, Volkmar able to, you know, easily pull through his own infantry now and just let Heinrich Himmler and the White Kings get hard pitted in there. Looks like some of these spearmen were going after the Blood Knights. Haha, one of them's going to get a quick poke in the horse's ass before it leaves. Oh my god, Grand Soulfire. That's devastating. The Empire's pulling this back, guys. Look at Heinrich Himmler. He's getting smashed. Getting smashed by Volkmar. There goes the summon. Vampire is doing everything they can to hang into this fight. But Heinrich Himmler at critical binding. He has the Cloak of Mist Shadows for that 75% physical resist, though, and that's huge. But it's not going to matter against Volkmar the Grim, because he does magic and fire attacks with his damage. And right now, Heinrich Himmler looking like he's going to go down for the count very quickly here. Or not. What do I know? Yeah, there goes Heinrich Himmler. He's down for the count. Just the White Kings now. And the Empire and the Vampire counts just fighting tooth and nail right to the bitter end.
Don't stop until they're all dead!
Wow, what a fight. Does look like the Empire pulled this back, though.
Slay them!
Blood Knights trying to come in for a rear charge, desperately trying to get anything to rout for the Empire player, but there go army losses, and Volkmar the Grim going to lead his forces to victory. Wow, great fight. Like this Empire build a lot, and you know, he pulled it off. The state troops just MVPs there. Heinrich Himmler in the late game there, I think, yeah, he didn't need to be in that combat more than likely, and getting smashed around like that really just hurt the leadership too much for the Vampire counts to recover. Yeah, I agree. Merfolder maybe got too ahead of himself, thought he had it in the bag, which I think a lot of us did. And then RTK Felix coming back swinging. Crypt Horrors can be risky because if they have Knights of the Blazing Sun, Crypt Horrors are screwed. And you also have to remember that while they can pin Volkmar, they're also very weak against Volkmar because he does fire attacks. So Volkmar will probably be pretty efficient at killing models on top of Crypt Horrors if they pin him in place. So I don't know. It's a bit iffy to me, especially if you go up against like maybe archers or huntsmen or something. Then your Crypt Horrors will melt even faster. They're also very weak to spearmen. King Thran, have a good night, man. See you later, bud. All right, guys. Yeah, sorry. I'm starting to get a bit tired and peckish, so I was just going to see what the players thought. Because they're very evenly matched. That was a very close match. And if they're okay with it, depending on their time zone, maybe they just want to make this the tie-break match and call it good. So, but no pressure. If IBSD wants a best of 5, then we're going to do a best of 5, and we're going to enjoy a best of 5. I'm just lazy. Because I did a tournament yesterday, and then we had another one on Monday. All right, guys, it's best of 3. This is the tie-breaking match. I want to thank you all for being here, and my apologies if anybody's super disappointed. But, you know, it will let the players finish up a bit earlier, let me finish up a bit earlier, and save my energy for the next stream on Monday. What character could defeat a Bloodthirster in a duel, body to body? So, do mounts count, or no? Because when you say mount body to body, I imagine that means no ranged attackers or no like magic users, like an actual melee combat. So I'm asking: does a mount count, or does it have to be just the Lord or character? Yeah, Grimgor could... Alright, I'm going to answer first just the answer from, like, infantry, like, just a Lord by themselves, no mounts point of view. I would say Grimgor could kill a Greater Daemon. Or a Bloodthirster, I should say. I would think... I mean, if we're getting into, like, Nakai could probably kill a Bloodthirster by himself in lore. Hell, even Krokkar could probably kill a Bloodthirster, especially if he had the help of Grimlock. Yeah, but lore is a cast. Mazda Mundi is a caster, so I think he's asking more so like who could hand to hand like kill a Bloodthirster. If we look at KHA Bonda, probably no one really can if he is strong as in the end times. Yeah, best of 3, so this is the time matcher. This is match point. Bob Treshus is the final match of their series. Yeah, Kolek would easily crush a Bloodthirster. Because in lore, he is literally like the size of a large hill. He is very big. He's like taller than the walls of... crap, why can't I think of it? It's not Prague, is it? There's Kislev, and I think it is Prague, actually, was the one that was destroyed by Chaos in the third Chaos invasion with Asavar Kul, the one where Magnus the Pious went up and beat him. Imik on Dragon could, yeah. Oh, not in lore? I think a Star Dragon could kill a Bloodthirster in lore, depending who led it. Yeah, the peak over the walls of Prague, Hexwaddle. I think one group of people that we can't forget about that could kill Bloodthirsters would be like Ungrim Iron Fist and Grombrindle the White Dwarf. I think the Slayer Kings, a lot of them would have a good chance at just going toe-to-toe and killing a Bloodthirster. Because you have to remember, too, like, Slayer King, one of the Dwarf Slayer Kings defeated the Phoenix King in hand-to-hand combat. And there's other characters I would say could probably go toe-to-toe with Bloodthirsters. like Malekith or Tyrion and stuff like that. But granted, Malekith has magic, so maybe not. Vlad Daddy could. Yeah, Vlad, if he has his Von Karstein ring, if it's like Vlad Von Karstein pre him getting the Von Karstein ring stolen from him by an Empire thief, then he could easily take on a Bloodthirster, because you could just kill him a ton of times and he'd just come back and keep coming back. Who else? Somebody who I honestly think might put up a good fight, Wolfric the Wanderer is said to be one of the greatest duelists in lore, but I just don't think he could take on a Bloodthirster, but he is one of the toughest lords in terms of just being able to go toe-to-toe with anybody. What do you guys think? Could Throg take on a Bloodthirster? Throg the Troll King in lore? He does kill Sigvald, but only after Sigvald's super tired. And then he pisses all over his corpse. Gotta love Warhammer lore. Yeah, Tyrion could kill a Bloodthirster, I would say. Teclis definitely could too, but he's a caster, so we're not including him in the list. But I guess, is a Chaos Lord more powerful than a Bloodthirster? I guess it depends on the Chaos Lord, of course. Who else? Who else? Who else? I think, honestly, Karl Franz on Deathclaw, I think could definitely kill a Bloodthirster. Not on Deathclaw, it would still be a good fight because Gal Maraz, the Reikland Runepain, like he's got some crazy powerful weapons and armor on him. Lamian could seduce one somehow. No, Throg didn't kill him in a fair fight. Yeah, I don't think even the most seductive Slaaneshi demons could seduce a Khorne one, because Khorne, I don't even think Khorne realizes he has a penis. I think Khorne is just too focused on rage, and he ain't got no time for sex or seduction. Yeah, he was smashing someone else's face in hard, but Throg just hated that dude and murdered him and pissed all over his corpse. I'm not a huge Sigvald fan, so I don't really care that it wasn't a fair fight. I just like that Sigvald got smashed by Throg. Get out of here. Fucking flies. Lamians are seductive, but I guess a greater demon of Khorne I feel like would be one of the hardest things to seduce in the Warhammer universe. Even more so than a dragon or a Dreadsaurian or Slayers. I think strictly because Khorne, his followers have a natural resistance to magic because he hates magic so much. So, yeah, I feel like out of all of the Chaos Gods, he might have the soldiers who would be the most resistant to seduction. But if anyone could do it, it would be the Lamians, because they a sexy ass vampire cult ready to seduce everyone and bring the Empire to ruin from the shadows. Oh, dude, what do you think? Do you think Gorich could kill a Bloodthirster? You think Gorich could go toe-to-toe in that fight? Cetra, yeah, could probably do it. Cetra on his War Strings. Yeah, Cetra could kill some Bloodthirsters. He does not perish. And he has a halberd, so I can poke him. Poke him in the groin. Who else we got? Grimgor, definitely, but we already kind of established that. Grimgor could body Archaon without the magic. Noctilus could. Sinix would murder one? Yeah, slit its throat. Isn't the answer that anyone the writers choose on a given day could do it? No. That's true. I was just trying to, give the Lamian branch of the vampire family some credit there. Slaanesh is the true seducer. We had a dwarf and greenskin match. I like it, and the dwarfs were the counter pick. So get ready to rumble, people, because we got ourselves a grudgeon to settle. One of the oldest grudges in the book. The dwarfs versus the greenskins. I don't know. Grom, I think, might not be able to pull that off. He's a great lord and everything, but in lore, he took out a bunch of orc war bosses and something, but I don't think Grom is ever to the level of a Grimgor kind of fighter. I don't see that. Also, Bloodletter's a Khorne fire, so he has his regeneration powers because he ate a troll, or he ate parts of a troll, and it gave him those healing powers, so I imagine he would have the same weakness to fire just like a troll would. So I don't give Grom a win over a Bloodthirster. The Overtyrant would just hug the Bloodthirster and crush it like a pancake and then eat it like a pancake, maybe? Alright, let's get this off the screen, throw up the intro card, get to our tiebreaker, and see which one of these fine, fresh recruits comes out on top as the Season 5 champion. RTK Felix with the Dwarfs taking on Ilbsdy with the Greenskins. Final round. Malice Darkblade? No, yeah, Grom crushes war bosses, but anybody want to dispute with me that Grimgor Ironhide would mop the floor with Grom the Paunch? Feel free to do so, but Grimgor Ironhide in lore would absolutely stomp Grom the Paunch. I have no doubt. Anywho, let's go ahead and cover the armies before I get too distracted, and we'll see how it goes. So, here we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dwarf warriors holding down the front line. Got 2 Iron Drakes behind them, helping out. We're going to have Ulthar's Raiders, Arawar Rangers with great weapons. We're going to have 3 Slayers in the back line, including the Dragonback Slayers, and they will be supporting 3 cannons. Also going to have 2 Gyrocopters up in the air, just the regular variant, with a Rune Lord on foot. He's going to have the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin and the Master Rune of Grugni. That does look like that's all our dwarf army has. So let's go take a look at the Greenskins, who are going to outnumber them by about 300 troops. So, going to see 3 Wolf Rider Archers. Another one over here being Maugrim's Mage Marauders, accompanied by 2 Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers and the Durkit Squigs. We're going to have ourselves some Snotling Pump Wagon action, and then we're going to have Night Goblins, Black Orcs, another Night Goblin, Black Orcs, and then on the far left flank we have the River Troll Hag, Orc Shaman, and Grom the Paunch, person we've been talking about so much. And then Overtyrant with the Ogres, yes, Ogre Kingdoms Overtyrants can kill Bloodthirster. Yeah, Grom the Paunch, he's naked, got Brainburster and Gaze of Mork on the Orc Shaman, and Spirit Leech on top of the River Troll Hag. Also going to be seeing some generic goblins in the back lines protecting 3 Goblin Rock Lobbers. And that's going to round out our 2 players' armies, and so it begins. Yeah, it's 2 units of Black Orcs. Yeah, Grom the Paunch should have way lower armor. Why in the hell does he have 50 armor? Or 100 armor, sorry. So stupid. So it begins. Dowie cannons opening fire. And the Greenskin's not going to be able to just sit back on their laurels, I think. They do have the 3 Goblin Rock Loppers. Those are very cost efficient, and, you know, going against Dwarf Warriors, they'll have more expensive targets to choose, but 3 Dwarf Cannons is going to be wreaking havoc unless the Greenskins close the line, as far as I'm concerned. And also the wolves are faster, spiders are slightly slower. So you can see the wolves have 92 speed, spiders are going to have 78 speed, but they cause poison. Another difference is spiders at least have some armor, the wolves have little to no armor. Yeah, wolves have 25 armor, forest goblins have 45. Gaze of Mort coming down. Going after the cannon crew. So far not killing off any artillery models though. This is where I might like to see the cannon just start opening fire on the Orc Shaman or the Giant River Troll Hag. You got 3 of them. Could do a lot of damage all at once depending where you're targeting them. So some focus fire here I think would be nice. Try and eliminate maybe a hero from the Greenskin roster or the Black Orc, something like that. Just keep the focus fire up. Right now, Gyrocopter's getting focused by a lot of Greenskin skirmishers, but so far they're not taking the worst damage. You know, closing in on about 1/3 of their health being gone, but all in all, I don't think that's the worst thing ever for the dwarfs at this moment. Alright, Greenskin Skirmishers coming up against some shielded Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors don't care. They can soak up that damage all day with their shields and their very good armor. Dragonback Slayers are going to be pulling back away from all of these Greenskin Skirmishers on their left flank. And once again, Dwarf Warriors being pushed out with their superior armor and shields to help support. A lot of good mixed unit tactics in this Dwarf army that I'm liking to see here. And, ooh, looks like these guys may get a nice charge. Dwarf Warriors look like they did stop just in time, maybe to brace. The Night Goblin Squig Copper is going to dive in and dive out very, very quickly. Iron Drake's opening fire into some of the skirmishers here. Doing some good damage. Ouch. On top of those Wolf Riders. Gaze of Mort going down again. This time it does successfully eliminate one of the cannon models. This cannon looking like it may be going down for the count pretty soon here. Rune Lord coming over trying to boost their leadership, I think. So far, both players playing this very patiently. Iron Drake's being used as an excellent counter skirmishing tool against all of these Forest Goblin Spider Riders and Wolf Rider archers. Cannon is wavering but still firing away, and it looks like the Greenskins have now shifted their target to the middle cannon, which might be a mistake, honestly. Over here we see the Dragonback Slayers getting on top of these Durkat Squigs and then some flames being thrown into them. Very nice stuff, and so far Dwarfs playing this very well, and the Greenskins I think are getting the worst of the trades. Over here, look at this. River Troll Hag getting somersaulted by cannonballs. She's not too happy with that, but I think the cannons focusing on her is absolutely the right call. She's been in range for a long time, seems to be kind of careless about it, and you should be able to knock her out. Over here, Night Goblin, or sorry, the Snotling Pump Wagons in the back line, causing some trouble for the dwarfs, now going after these flamethrower Iron Drakes. Balance of power still creeping further in the dwarfs' favor. Yeah, Hag has Spirit Leech and has been using the Spirit Leech actively. Alright, Snotling Pump Wagon shattered. However, the Dwarf Artillery is starting to go offline across the board. See, 3 models left on this one, but the crew's routed. Over here, only 1 model, but the crew is also routing. And that hurts. They have plenty of artillery, they just don't have crews to man it. So we'll see if the dwarves can hang on to their edge in the balance of power without the artillery pressure to sustain them through the battle, because right now this River Troll Hag is regenerating. Definitely want to see as many cannonballs going down on her, but it sucks if you're focusing a unit that could survive the onslaught.
Not one head shall breathe this day!
Yeah, Greenskin Skirmishers hitting about the halfway mark on most of their ammunition. This cannon is being remounted. I'd honestly like to see them come over and mount this 3 artillery piece cannon so they can get more shots off. Yeah, it looks like they're not going to be able to hold on much longer. River Troll Hag feeling confident enough to come in now, and honestly, I want to see Iron Drakes open up on her. I think, is she trying to get a Spirit Leech on him or something? Yeah, she's going for a Spirit Leech. Oh, it got canceled. There it goes again. Spirit Leech on the Iron Drakes. It looks like the River Troll Hag making a concerted effort to make sure they are removed from the field before Grom comes back here to play. As, you know, fire is not something trolls, or even goblins that eat trolls, like. Alright, Iron Drakes getting lined up for a nice charge by Grom as they're coming out to try to skirmish. Ouch! This Goblin Rock Lobber is really raking in a lot of value throughout the course of the battle. You can see here 4 kills, 25, 12. I guess we'll have to see what kind of damage they got done. Otherwise, maybe they didn't do as much damage as I was thinking. Grom the Paunch getting targeted by Ulthar's Raiders. We have Dwarf Warriors coming into combat now. Cannon firing on them. Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin on top of him as well. And wow, Grom taking a lot of damage very quickly there. And the Dwarves still have plenty of units in reserve. You know, you have some Slayers back here, full health. The Dragonback Slayer still doing very well. Dwarf Warriors, full health, just hanging out in the back. Actually, no, the 3rd unit of Slayers, so they still have 3 full health Slayers over here. And the Greenskins are almost out of ammunition. Look at these Black Orcs. The Black Orcs are super weak from all the Carronade fire. So this is looking good for the Dwarfs in a matchup that I would say most people consider to be very difficult for them. Right now, Cannon's firing away at Grom, and he is actually wavering a little bit. He's at 1600 HP. He should be able to heal it up, and he's just about to be out of range of that cannon. So as long as he stays ahead, he should be okay. But the problem is, what's the rest of his army going to do while he's gone? I mean, they have 3 Slayers to contend with over here. Still plenty of Dwarf Infantry available. And, you know, they're almost out of ammunition. River Troll Hag is routing. Gyrocopters still have 3 models, one of them full health, and that's super important too because Grom the Punch, he's going to have to struggle with that. Like, if he gets in combat with Slayers, normally he can just pull out, but if there's 2 Gyrocopters pinning him in place, it's goodbye and good luck. Over here, it looks like we're going to be seeing the Giant River Troll Hag regaining her leadership, but cannonballs, I think, are still coming at her. Ouch. And we will see if she can hang on. There goes another route. 731 for the HP. Brain Burster going down there from the Orc Shaman, doing some nice damage on Ulthar's Raiders. Oh, a miss. Rock Lobbers are running down to their last bit of ammunition. And same thing for the Greenskin Skirmishers. Thinking about it and then pulling out at the last minute as they see those Slayers closing the gap. Greenskins need to get something going here really quick, otherwise this game's going to be over. Right now, Grom the Punch is almost back to half health, just regenerating back here. The Dowie cannons are out of ammunition or completely routed off the map at this point. And so now the Dwarves need to close the gap, and we will see how they fare from here. They still have both Gyrocopters, some decent, good ammunition on both of them. They still have the Flame Iron Drakes, which they both have good ammunition. And then the 3 Slayers is really what I think is going to be so tough for the Greenskins here without any missile units to deal with them. There go the Loons. Oh, they're going to veer off target. Dwarf Warriors into the Night Goblins. Ooh. Flamethrowers flying through the Goblins. Brain Burster going down here on top of the Dwarf Warriors. See the Gyrocopters over here, taking care of a lot of this infantry, routing it. Dirkit Squigs have shattered. Grom the Punch sitting back here. I think waiting for Marked by Ulthar to wear off before he comes into combat, but at this point the Dwarfs looking stronger and stronger by the second. Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin down on top of Grom the Punch. And now suddenly he's surrounded by the Dragonback Slayers. Rune of Wrath and Ruin. He's got the Rune Lord on his ass. And look at that. Rout going to kick in, and Grom the Punch is gone down. And I think his Greenskin followers are going to be quick to follow. And there we have it, guys. An excellent final match between RTK Felix and Ibsd, and I want to give a huge shout out to both of these players for some excellent games, keeping us entertained. Very close best of 3, and that last one, honestly, very nice dwarf play from RTK Felix. I like this army a lot, a little bit of everything to support everything, and you know, same with Grom the Punch's army. I just think this one didn't quite work out. I think what I like to see here more is if you're going to go with a kite option against the dwarfs, go with full kite and just cheap infantry, because then they don't have black orcs to snipe down for you, because that's just a ton of value being lost right there, right? But if you're going to go rush, then go rush and, you know, bring as much infantry as you can and just bulldoze those blasted dwarfs. But on that note, let me go Rish. GG, well played. Great match. Thanks for playing, smiley face. And now we'll turn on the screen and we'll start from here. My daughter just broke into my bedroom, so I guess that's my cue to leave. And she's about to push the green screen on top of me. Frankie, can you stop that? Thank you. You want to say hi? Huh? You can come say hi. Yeah. Ah. No, you're okay. I just finished. So say hi, Frankie. What? All right, but everybody take care of yourself. My son HW going to be signing out from here.
Yay.
Everybody, you are the best. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the followers, the subscribers, and the players. Everyone take care of yourself, and I'll see you on Monday. My son HW heading out from here, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Can you say bye-bye? I know. I'm a double.
Bye. Oh,
Yeah, say bye-bye.
wait. What's he doing?
No, they can't wait. They gotta go.
I tried to what's he doing?
What?
What doing? What? That's
Yeah, you can just keep blowing directly into that.
Wow. I just want me too.
Can I have a kiss?
I
Oh, you're
know.
gonna steal my headphones too?
I know.
No. Now she's the streamer.
I told you.
Did you just take a big poop?
What's that?
It smells like it.
What's wrong with that? E J.
Yeah.
Hey!
Mama!
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I know. Look, they're saying you're adorable with the little monkey.
What's what I do?
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm heading out for real this time. Take care. Thanks for tuning in.
I told you.